What?
Hello, welcome to F Art, and we're
You guys just defeating the point.
well.
Oh
I don't know what to
god.
tell you.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I'm so glad we're doing this.
Yeah, friendship is magic.
I'm not even streaming yet because I've had no time to set up because what's this little stupid dum who hates everybody. Oh boy. Alright. Let's just pretend like we aren't streaming. Is there anything you want to talk about before stream?
How was your book signing?
It was fine. I was so tired though. I slept like how much did I sleep? I slept like 3 hours, and then I got up and I was expecting there because this guy is not unpopular, so I was expecting there to be like a big line, and there was to an extent. So I got there at around 12 ish, and I got out at around, oh gosh, like 3:30 or something. So I was there for like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
minutes.
Also, you're not streaming to me. How am I supposed to? This is so unprofessional. How am I supposed to make fun of you? Also, I'm not streaming, but look, now I'm watching your stream.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching the stream because we're friends, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what friends do. Instead of one friend ignoring the other friend and then going to be a little dumbass, which is what you did. Like a piece of shit.
I get a confirmation and then I go sit up stream. That's how it's been for like the past how many weeks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta count on me being more tired than I am.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I was done setting up stream and then I look around, I'm
Bend
like, oh, and then I text you
bend
because I have time
bend to
on
my
my
will.
hands, and then I'm like, oh,
Bend to
I wonder where Heck is now that
bend
I'm
to my
done.
will.
Now that I'm done setting up. I wonder where.
uh, bend to my will. But yeah, um, it was fun. The guy, the Derek Landy, he was very friendly. He's very I don't know. I guess you could tell he had done a few book signings before, because he knew how to kind of speed up the conversation, so to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the give someone a little bit of time and then.
Yeah. For more, which is what surprised me, because I thought it would be like one of those things where everybody's bombarding him with questions, and then he is like patiently answering all of them, or at least answering them until he kicks them out. But no, he kind of, from the first second, he kind of took charge of the conversation. He's just like, all right, we're doing this now. How are you? Get the fuck out. Hey, you want a picture? Fuck off, And it's like in and out, kind of like fast food kind of deal,
It reminds me of that story about Arnold and the comedian.
Arnold and the comedian? No, I don't know that one. What the hell
So one
are
of
you
the
talking?
comedians that we have in common, like that we both watch, has a story about like meeting Arnold, and he has an Arnold timer, which is one guy just dedicated to like when he should move on to the next
Yeah.
person. And then I think one of that person recognized the comedian and gave him the signal to like speed up the thing, and so the handler like sped him up to meet up with the comedian.
Uh-huh. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Uh, well, yeah, this guy definitely. He was still very friendly though.
Mm.
He just knew how to fucking hurry it up, and be like, "Hey, yo, get the fudge out of Dodge." Also, should I stream to Twitch at the same time?
That's up to
I might
you.
as I might as well. I haven't streamed to to Twitch in forever. I mean, it's just I can't do it because I live in too close proximity with my roommates. But one of them is actually out today, so I have more leeway, I suppose, in a sense. Otherwise, I'd be streaming at the dead of night and such and such. And also, one of my roommates is doing their exams right now, right? So it's very stressful. You know who I'm talking about, right, Borscht?
Yeah.
Borscht? Borscht?
Mm-hmm.
Borscht, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Borscht? Borscht,
The
child?
baboon.
Yeah? Bubble? Oh, hello? Alright, let me go
Fish
live. It
maboon,
doesn't
maboon.
it doesn't matter. Alright, what should I call this
Yeah, there's
title?
only one thing that would be sus, and it's there's something about not being able to have a VOD somewhere until like 24 hours passes.
I'm gonna call this Two in Love Can Fart to Take My Fart, and please
Oh yeah,
don't
what kind
fart.
of books does that person write? I realized I didn't actually know.
Hold on. What do you think of the title "Two in Love Can Fart It"? Take my fart and please don't fart it.
It sounds like some sort of reference to a song or literature, and it's one I don't know. So that's why
Fart.
I thought about. Oh, I don't know what the book signing was.
Fart was made for me and you. There you go. It's two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. But now it's take two in love can fart it. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna change it to two and fart can make it. Makes more sense.
Oh,
Two and
okay.
fart can make it. Take my fart and please don't break it. Fart was made for you, me and you. All right, here we go. Going live on Twitch as well. I can do this because I'm better than you in every single way. Isn't that right, Borscht?
Uh-huh. That's exactly the technical reason
Yeah,
as to why you can
boy.
you
Yeah,
can.
I message Twitch. Oh wait, hold on, I'm streaming now. I gotta be. Oh well, welcome to my stream. See, it's so tiring.
Uh-huh.
It's like, why am I introducing to nobody? Why am I talking to nobody? It's fine because you're here now, But like otherwise, it's like, you know, I feel ridiculous.
I don't know. That's what everybody does. I don't know if that makes one feel better, misery and company and all that jazz, but
Well, if when I'm as famous as Derek Landy, I'll make sure
Did
to
you
be.
Zoolander? Is that what is
Uh,
that what you said, or
um,
did I mishear?
you misheard me.
Oh, well, that's
I was
unfortunate.
burping at the same
Almost
time.
disappointing.
Look, Derek Landy, he writes Skullduggery Pleasant. That's what I went to go see him for.
Oh,
This is the book series that I read when I was like in school. I told him that I hadn't read his new series, as in the new series that he's doing this book tour for. And he was like, "Oh, that's okay. It was fate that you came here and saw that I had another series." I'm like, haha. I was hoping he would give me more of a violent reaction. It's like, "You haven't read my books," and just like unleash the like nerd rage and punch me across the room.
would
But
that be
alas,
more coveted than the
that
signature
would
is
be
being punched
so much.
by the writer?
Yeah, I was considering doing something quirky like that. I was considering either having him, and so like you saw, I took a picture with him, but
Yes.
that's because I was nervous, right? Because I'm like, there's like I think I was mostly nervous because there's like a huge line behind me,
Yep.
and then everyone's like hyped up to see this guy, and uh, it kind of messes with my head, because I can't like be as much of a little shit as I want to be, you know.
Wow, shocker.
Uh, yeah, which is just a pain in the arse, right? Well, what I was going to do was I was going to give him my phone so he could take a picture of me. That didn't include it. I just thought that would have been so funny. I just asked him to take a picture. Well, it's just a picture of me, like giving the thumbs up, and no one will know that Derek Landy took it. It's just me. But alas, I felt too nervous, and also, he took real charge of the conversation. So he's just like, "You want a picture? Take a picture with me," And then he had like the little assistant lady come by, and she. That's the one thing I am glad about. She just snapped the picture too early, and it kind of looks like I'm dancing, and he's slamming his fist on the table.
Oh.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty funny.
So that's what you
Um,
meant by dancing.
yeah,
You're not
yeah, yeah.
actually dancing, it just looks like you're
No,
doing.
did you think I was dancing?
Oh, I thought you were serious that you went to a book signing and he took such charge of the conversation that he made you dance.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad it gave that impression. Oh
You gave
boy.
that
Yeah,
impression. You
it was pretty.
spoke that way.
It was pretty funny. But yeah, he writes those young adult fantasy fiction that like oh boy, like this guy is unafraid of everything. Like I,
Hmm.
I I wish I had this guy's confidence, because if I wrote a story about like and then there was a parallel universe, and then everybody in this world is like, this is where the bad guys win, and now this intersects with the main story. Like, I don't think I would have the confidence to write that, because I would think I'm being tacky, but this guy, he just goes for it, and it turns out great. He's just like, yeah, yeah, there's a it's like the equivalent of a drunk guy at a party, like telling you this convoluted plot, but he makes it work, and that's the difference, right?
Well, you break
Because
down all the like greats plots. It's like if you dumb it down to a summary, it looks like it
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
work at all.
like Lord of the Rings, it's just like, this is a ring, it makes you invisible, but also it's the power of the demon, and he's a tower, and he can see the ring, and he yeah, and they gotta walk there,
They
right?
have to walk there.
uh,
That's
and the guy
the
is,
most
he's like,
unreasonable part I've heard yet.
he's like, oh, he sends these guys that's in like hoodies be like, oh, and they are in hoodies because they lost their humanity after he the evil rings. The big, but the other ring is more powerful. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe would that work for Harry Potter? And there's a school, and there's like this evil guy, and he's like, I'm gonna take over high school," and then he fails.
Making my own High School Musical.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
oh
Do
yeah.
you?
This
Yeah.
thing that you're doing for some odd reason, the whatever it is, you get an extra day to do it.
What? So why did they delay it?
Um, it normally happens during a Saturday stream, which is when,
Yeah.
at the end of the stream, the stuff is, gone over on stream. Well, when you're not streaming on Saturday, it's no longer due on Saturday.
What? Why? I did the work now. This is
Yeah.
like me slaving to do an assignment, and then the producers are, oh, well, so you'll have it in next week because I'm hungover. It's like, I will murder you and your family and your wife first, and then your family again.
Uh-huh.
Seriously?
Robot hack.
So
Oh, it's
what?
because it's a casual thing. It's not like it's a huge ass assignment. It's called Sketch Saturday, not Go Get Salty Saturday. Half the people are working on their submission during the stream, and they use the stream to like turn it in last minute.
Well, that works to my benefit, because if it's Sketch Saturday and everybody sketches, and I get out whip out this incredibly detailed, unnecessary shit post, that makes it all the more funny.
Oh no, I was
you
just
know?
doing that for like the what's expected of one person. But no one does that anymore. One person ups the ante, the next person ups the ante. No one lowers the ante if you have any
Right.
semblance of
Is
combatism.
that is that what you're doing right now? Is that the techno sword?
What? Yeah, yeah. This is the. I turned it into a drill because it's the only way I could get archaeologists and digging in there.
Why did you have to get archaeology and digging in there?
Oh, because
Is it
in
because you're
my head
stupid or
canon,
something? You're like a dum dum?
it's
Like,
this
you don't
like
know how fucking like
yeah.
technology
Right,
works?
that's exactly
Are you
why. I'm
fucking
gonna put this
stupid or
drill into
something?
your brain to see if there's
Oh.
treasure inside.
There isn't. No. Alright, yeah, go on. What the fart are you saying?
Oh, because in my head canon, this
Oh,
stupid
yeah,
archaeologist
your
only
head
has
got
half of
oh,
a cell
yeah,
to
sure.
stab little
Yeah.
fairies whenever they see them. Oh
Well, that's
right, you
pretty
didn't.
interesting.
I didn't even say anything. You piece of shit.
Easy ways to end the conversation.
Oh, that's
Well,
very interesting.
that's pretty interesting. Anyways,
Did you
back to mine.
appreciate the fucking? thing that you
Uh,
made me post on Twitter.
I saw it. That was the first thing I checked this morning.
Was my
I said,
Twitter.
yeah, I was like, I gotta see it. Do you still have the art, right? Pull up the layer.
Oh my
Wait, why
god.
is it off? What the fuck? Do you like not respect me or something? All
I
right,
did the
here we go.
funny
Yeah,
pixels.
yeah. Why did you do the lance and not the sword? You fool!
Because you said to do the lance.
Yeah, I know. But it'll spoil everything. They'll know it's me.
That one fault. Only like one person fault. Now they'll have an Easter egg hunt, or if they recognize the damn
They'll
thing.
uncover Borscht. I can't go back to jail.
That's
You know him was
what's
going
really
to press
funny?
charges.
No, that's funny
But
because the server is called a jail.
oh well, there we go. I was so excited to meme tonight. Borscht. I should explain to our millions of viewers what's going on.
Yeah.
Because blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah, blah. All right.
that's weird. That's not.
What?
I switched to Eclipse to recess for 1 second. It was very confusing.
All right, let me explain to all of our 0 viewers what we're doing. Because when I stream, I don't give context. Apparently, people don't want to watch the stream, according to a certain monkey who lives in my house. So let me give context. All right, Borscht Entire,
Yeah,
my
hello.
co-streamer here. If
Hi.
you don't know her name, also referred to as fucking dumb stupid brain.
Uh-huh.
Uh, she's clinically depressed. Uh, she asked me to join in. She begged me to join
Uh-huh.
in on a prompt that she was doing for a server. She was on her hands and her knees, and she's like, "Please, heck, if you don't partner up with me for this submission, then I will suffer." And I was like, "Ha!" And then I didn't
I was
join up
like,
with her. And then the week
poor.
after that, there was a new commission, and Borsch was like, "Oh, it's doing a sword and a shield for a server. Somebody draws the sword, and then somebody draws the shield." And I was like, "Cool. I'm going to draw a lance, and I'm gonna do it by myself, and I'm gonna burst in at the last minute and dethrone everyone." And Marsh was very unsupportive, and then she punched me in the goon. Ah, no, the color. What is going on? Oh, here we go. Yeah, and Borsch insisted um that I needed to add context because otherwise I would look like a griefer. I'm like, okay, I guess. I'm like, who would mistake me bursting in and calling everybody who's not doing what I'm doing a piece of shit as griefing? I would never understand. But I guess in fucking marshland, gotta take consideration or these trash monkeys. Anyways, how you doing?
I, I'm here, I guess.
You want to show off your half? Did you finish it?
I'd love to finish my story, but that's never gonna happen.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. There was a drill or something boring like that?
Brain
Please.
surgery? I don't know.
Yeah. If you want to talk about something boring, don't let me stop you.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead. There's a drill. The floor is yours.
Fucking hearsay with the hearsay drill. rotten face.
Oh boy. Alright, look.
Yeah.
Will you just fucking do the thing?
As a fucking archaeologist, I imagine they only had half of a mech because they're a poor archaeologist, and
Yeah.
it's a whole modern Indiana Jones thing where we're like,
Yeah.
oh, uncovering ancient shit, and then I'm gonna smack a memory chip on it and wires and stuff, and now it's my weapon.
That's
Look,
very
this
nice.
thing
Is it?
rotates. It's
Ah,
a drill, and then it
you
it
rotate.
flips out and is a key.
That's what's the key for?
It's
I
for
must
the
ask.
shield. Wow.
Why
It's for
do you
the
need a key for the shield?
alien technology.
Hmm.
Look,
Oh,
that's
I
piece of
need
the
my
rock.
shield, but I left my keys in the other pocket.
Yeah, exactly. This rock was kind of broken, so I'm imagining like if you embedded it into a memory
What are
chip or
you
something.
hiccuping? What the fuck is this
Yeah,
here?
yeah, that's what I do. I make high pitched squeaky sounds when I don't breathe, and my brain has to
Gross.
reset the airflow.
Nasty. You. All right.
Oh, Waffle
That
looked at the panel you did, and he liked it.
which
The
panel?
trolley one we're doing today, those ones, and the stabbed one in
But
particular.
did Waffle look at my messages?
What?
Did he
Oh,
see my messages from yesterday?
oh, I guess he did say something like "Hack messaged me for some reason."
What do you mean some reason? Hey, you didn't tell him to respond to me?
No,
What the hell is wrong with
I
you?
don't tell him
Hey
to
guys,
do
you
jack shit. The waffle does
this
what
is
the
so weird.
waffle wants.
I mean, how much do I have to message him before he becomes my best friend?
That's a really good question. And the one that I don't have the answer to, unfortunately.
Would you find it awkward if we were best friends and we hung out all the time?
I'd find it very hilarious considering I can't imagine him inviting more noise into his life.
What if he was like, what if he was like super intrigued by what I have to offer? He's like, oh heck, well, it's a good, interesting take on Judaism. Uh,
That would be that would be
let
very interesting considering if that did happen, it would be for like 20 minutes and then he'd be done and you wouldn't hear him again for like another 3 months.
what if, what if, what if, but what if we're best friends?
Well, good. It's 2 months and 3 weeks. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, even if I'm only the person Waffle has the second most contact with, I would still take that as a win. I'm like, he contacts me once every 14 years. Oh boy. Alright. Maybe we can do like one of those mailbox from the movies situations where I write a letter and he only gets it in the future, or some shit. And
Yeah.
then he writes letters back into the past. Some crap like that. It was
This
like a movie or something.
sounds like responding to Ryu's message or seeing Ryu respond to messages from a conversation 2 weeks ago.
What the hell should I do here? I don't know what colors to pick.
Let me schnee this. Oh, well, you have the base colors. Good. I think you could just have variation in the shades, and it could, you know, mimic different wood types while being, having the same base color.
What you giggling at? You twit.
That's just I'm giggling that I'm still alive. Let's be honest.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I do find the humor in that. Uh,
Mm,
it's funny because your expiration date was like 3 months ago or
yeah,
something.
yeah. On my last rotation around the sun.
Yeah, there we go. That would feel really bad if you died after that.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, it was me.
I
I
did
did
it.
it. I murdered her. Oh boy. How old are you turning this year? For say 70, 80,
Uh,
62.
69, 69.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the day you're 69. You'll turn 69 like 30 years earlier than me, so we can celebrate.
I have tons of time to
Um,
prepare, like which ones are what's a good way to what's it called? Celebrate.
celebrate
Yes,
the
yes.
60.
And which
Yeah.
one's not a good idea.
Human centipede.
Oh, I had 69 something. I don't even remember what it is.
69
Oh, I
orgasms.
had something. thing. It was cool. I don't
Uh,
even know what it was. It's not followers, apparently. What was it? I had the funny number. Where did it go?
the haha number. Haha.
The ho ho hee hee
um,
number.
the hee hoo hoo number.
Oh, okay, well, whatever it is. I have no idea.
Yeah. Was it 420 or something? And you
Hmm.
just mistaking it as 69?
No. Well, maybe. Whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
But yeah,
Just
I know
looking
you
for
hate celebrating your birthday and getting gifts and anything that reminds you of the passage of time.
Uh-huh.
So how do you want to celebrate your next birthday?
Also, how do you want to do the thing you don't want to do?
Yeah. Oh, did I stutter or something?
Okay, what's the thing that we always say we should do, we never do? Oh, right, play Minecraft. That's one of
You
the
want?
things we always say we're gonna do, but we never fucking do. Did you know we
Yeah.
have a Toasty server? Did you know Kiwi and I play on that server?
Yeah. You still have it? What, like it's still online?
Oh no, this is not the same one as it was like a year ago. This is a service that has ads in it. I don't even know how it's alive. Like I don't know where they get their revenue because I know ads aren't actually that they don't do that much. But for some reason
Probably
this
drug
service is
trafficking.
free and yes, that's got to be it. Minecraft is up.
My Minecraft drug trafficking mules.
Yeah, that's got to be it. There's still other
Maybe they're using your computer to crypto mine in the background while you play Minecraft.
Yeah, maybe. But it's this service where you only get like 4 gigs of RAM, so it's perfect for vanilla servers and not that great for
Right,
modded ones. And
right.
it turns off when you're done using it, so there's no like letting the world the world doesn't run when you're gone. As soon as it's empty
Yeah.
for 5 minutes, it turns itself off.
Shouldn't that be the standard to
No,
for all servers? That seems kind of strange if you just leave it running. Unless you're like one of those fucking Richie rich people who just keep it running to be able to let anybody join at any time or some crap,
yeah,
you know?
that's exactly what it is. But if it's a third party hosting, they tends to be like, oh yeah, it's always online so anyone that can join it. But here you have to go log into your account to start it. So, one person is the only one that can start it or anyone who has the
Uh,
password. And I just made it queued to Toasty, so,
right,
you just log
gotcha.
in through Google and anyone from Toasty can just be like, Minecraft.
When was the last time I played Minecraft? I think it must have been. I think the last time I played Minecraft was with those other Toastians. Like we had those two on our server. You remember Rose and something else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of spoiled Minecraft for me for a little bit
Yeah,
because I
how
ran
come?
into. Well, yeah, I do prefer vanilla over um any other
Oh, you
sort
played
of.
modded?
No, I prefer vanilla and well, this is all leading into something else.
Oh, okay.
I preferred vanilla, and
Vanilla
it was like a
bitches.
vanilla. Yeah. No, I love my bitches chocolatey and kinky. Brown and without a frown. um, no. And Rose had set up like a freaking. Okay. I only like white girls. Yeah, is that what you wanted to hear? Actually, Indians are really attractive. You know.
I was gonna say they could be brown if you, but then I was like, wait, maybe that's not. Maybe.
Oh boy. All right. The point is that Brazilian chicks are definitely one of the hottest out there. uh look, Filipinos are pretty hot. I don't think I've met an ugly Filipino. That'll change when we meet. For now, you
In the
know,
meantime.
in the meantime, it'll be fine. But the freaking Rose and I and her brother, we were playing vanilla Minecraft, and I was just having fun chilling and building my little house, and I was just going mining with her. I think I turned a corner and I turned back, and then she had spawned in like a bunch of like a block of diamond ore or
Oh.
something. And to be honest, I didn't even realize that's what she was doing because I was so fucking stupid. I was like, wow, that's a lot of diamonds. I was like, cool, what a coincidence. I've never seen this many before, you know? And then she was like, oh, sorry, yeah, I'll delete them now. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's when it clicked for me that that was ill-gotten goods, you know? And then that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like it when people cheat in those games because it's like it's not like it's super difficult to get freaking diamonds. It's more of a patience game than it is like difficulty, you know. Especially if you want to like strip mine or something, you're gonna get stuff eventually. And to see people cheat like that, it's just kind of like, ugh, I didn't want to play anymore, you know. And I think that's the last time I played Minecraft. And in general, I just have an issue with like starting big projects and then lacking the motivation to finish it because I need like 16 boxes of fucking wood or something.
Yeah, what's
And you
funny
know how my
about all of that
yeah,
is like some people cheat so they don't burn out and can finish the builds they want to. Like that's what creative mode is for. Is just you just want to
yeah,
build for the sake of building. Like, I think they're different like phases in plays. Because there's
yeah,
survival world where you want to work for every little tiny thing, and then there's like I just want to design a cool building, and you just go creative mode. So some
yeah,
people just want to build; they don't want to grind for the rest of their lives.
yeah. But then start a creative world, you know, or something. This was like really early in, so I was kind of like, you know, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but creative Minecraft doesn't feel like a game to me, you know. I think half the fun is being like, I have to survive in this world, and look at me, and I've done everything just by working for it, you know. And creative is just like beep boop. It looks nice for sure, and it's a great place to like test out ideas and stuff. But it's in terms of like game play, I see it as less of a game than Minecraft. It's just like decorating, which is also why I have an issue with modern day Animal Crossing because it's just, hey, you want to decorate a lot, and the thing is, Animal Crossing doesn't even have a creative mode. You're just kind of stuck like fucking grinding for everything, which is such a pain because unlike Minecraft, they didn't invest in the survival aspect as much, I guess, you know, where you have like a ton of stuff to do. It's just like everything is kind of bland, you know, and now you have to grind for everything, and it just becomes this like, okay, this tedium almost, you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, Terraria doesn't have a creative mode per se, and so they just make blocks really easy to get the more you go,
You-
where Minecraft just doesn't have like really good inventory solutions. Even though you have shulker
oh yeah,
boxes, it's still horrible considering all the different blocks one would use to
yeah,
build
what
without
happened?
creative mode.
They were like, oh, we're gonna add pouches, and that was like 2 updates ago, and then they were like, pouches don't work or something, and it's like, yeah, no doy, they don't work. They're like a shittier version of shulker boxes, and people are already like struggling with fucking shulker boxes. How is introducing a worse version of that going to fix anything, you know? Um, so I guess they scrapped it, but like at least they're aware that there's an inventory problem because they brought it up a few times themselves, you know,
Hmm.
that they know there's an inventory problem. But to be honest, I don't know. I Minecraft has the fun benefit in survival that there are a lot of exploits that the game makers just leave in the game. So it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna put 2, 3 villagers together, and now they're going to indefinitely break the the spawn mechanic of like the protector of this village, so I can harvest them for their organs for all eternity by just standing near them.
I mean,
You
they
know?
barely left that in. They wanted to take that out. And
Yeah,
like,
did they?
yeah, they don't like farms at all because, they're fucking farms. But how else are you gonna make anything besides just tiny ass little constructions without an obscene amount of, iron?
Yeah,
And actually, Iron Farm, I think they were fixing some things, and then it just
yeah.
didn't fix enough, and people just made new farms.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it, though. I think the fact that there's a concept of farms in Minecraft means that everybody's always going to make a new version of it. In as soon as Minecraft updates, they're like, okay, and then they just make a new version of the farm that works, which is fun, you know. It's also funny that Minecraft is like the least expensive game in the world. I remember when I bought Minecraft, that was like 10 years ago
It was
or
like
something like that.
$5 once upon a time before
Yeah,
Microsoft.
you you buy it for like no money at all, and if you like the all the updates that we've been getting have been free essentially. There's no DLC or anything, so it's just free. So I'm just kind
Mhm.
of sitting here being like hee hee hoo hoo, like I've gotten free updates this entire time, in essence,
Mhm.
for like 20 bucks, which is just I love that business model. How the frick are they making any money at
Well, a
all?
lot of people, new people buy the thing, and then there's those people who get locked out of their account. Like I know Waffle
Oh,
got it back when it was 5 USD. Like that's how
yeah,
early he got it. And then
what a
turns out he
nerd.
might, if you lose your account, that sucks.
How much is it now though?
I don't know. I remember Bedrock was selling for like 35
Oh,
USD.
are you kidding me? That's like so much
Yeah,
now.
but here's the thing. Now that they're doing this thing where people who have Java get Bedrock and those who have Bedrock get Java after selling them separately for how many years now?
Yeah. What I like is that everybody gets a cape now, but I also don't like that everybody gets a cape now.
It's just so exclusive experience,
Yeah,
everything.
because the whole point of a cape was like, oh, it's cool and it's exclusive. I mean, I guess it still is, maybe in like 10 years when fucking everyone's dead and the only Minecraft players are robots,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the sole survivor of the apocalypse. But even so, they could have at least made it like timed, you know? You know what I mean? To add like a little bit of exclusivity. And like you gotta migrate from this time to this time. And the people who really freaking want it, they get it, right? And the people who are like, whatever, it's not that important. They just they you separate the wheat from the chaff, you know what I mean?
Well, they could have just had given different band like capes. That's the most basic thing to do. Like even
Yeah.
Genshin can do it where there's like three limited time wings, one for PlayStation, one for joining on launch, and I forgot what the fuck other one it was, but
Yeah.
it's basically like everyone gets a cape, but everyone gets a different cape, and that soothes the monkey brain.
Yeah, it does soothe the monkey brain. It's funny because it seems like Minecraft is doing so much well, but there's so many little things that are just I don't know why they don't fix
Like
them,
they
you know?
can't do all three things that are on the voting. They have to only do one when
Yeah,
modders
that always struck me as a little
come
bit
out
like,
with,
come on. Yeah.
it's the most obscene items and additions.
Yeah. What I personally don't like is like how many people make little tweaks to Minecraft. Like there's an entire website. It's run by like Exuma Void or one of those like big Minecraft YouTubers or something, right? And they have like a whole website called Vanilla Tweaks, which just do like tiny, tiny changes
Yeah.
to make the game a little bit more coherent. So it's like instead of just having your sword break as soon as the durability runs out, you can actually see the texture of the sword kind of degrading over time. And
Uh-huh.
then when it's about to break, you have like this little stump on a hill, and it's so cute, and it doesn't change anything fundamentally about the game, right? But it's so fun, and it's like, why can't they just take that like one to one and just implement it,
Oh, you know what's even
like
funnier? There's the way it's coded, the tech people, the tech Minecrafters who can, give yourself items that restock from your inventory from a chest in another chunk somewhere. There's apparently
uh,
one of those kinds of bugs. They're in conversation with Mojang enough where like they could have asked them where that line of code was, and instead they they did something weird to undo this thing that they could have just asked them where the code was to not make sure this
how
bug was exploitable anymore.
what did they do?
I don't remember. It's in Doc's video.
Oh gosh.
Hermit crab.
Yeah. Minecraft, yeah. Oh boy. You know, it almost feels like it would be too easy to be a Minecraft YouTuber if you, because what's running around now, which has survived like weirdly long, it's just 100-day videos. You know, I spent 100 days in Minecraft, except, and then they add some caveat. You know, like there are YouTube channels that like started last year when the trend was already dying down, and they are super successful now because that's all they do, and it's just like I guess there's a market for it, right? And they're all the same as well. That's kind of what gets me. It's like they're always like, oh, every single format of them is the same. They're like, day one, I got da 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 da. Day two, da 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 da. It's like that's like the worst way to do commentary. You know, it's like reading off a bullet point list. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people they innovate on that and they just go like, and then this happened and that happened. It's like an actual story and it's more enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess monkey brain is easily pleased for kids. Yeah, uka puka.
And what I like about Minecraft is it's such a simple game that you make your own kind of like content for it in your own way. Like
Yeah,
every time you play, it's a different objective, different story. It's
yeah,
funnily enough, the one time we did play Minecraft on this channel, it got 22 views.
yeah. Well, because it's no one wants to see fucking art. Why
Oh,
are we
okay.
artists
Well, I
again?
wasn't gonna mention it, but our second F art stream got 50 some odd views.
Oh, you mean like specifically on YouTube?
Here, this channel. What does
Oh,
this
I
channel
thought.
mean? What does
Oh,
this
I thought.
channel
Oh,
mean?
the, I thought what you meant was like you were streaming it on your stream and then you were streaming Minecraft and then you got way more views.
Oh, where did my tab go?
Yeah, what about you, Choco? Huh?
Oh,
Choco?
somehow.
Someday,
Oh,
somehow.
good. We're still live. That's cool.
Well, are we not supposed to be?
Well, I accidentally closed out of the browser.
Right.
And you have to, that's how you set up stream is you open it up and go live, and then through OBS you click, start streaming.
Right, right, right.
And if I thought that maybe if I close the fucking browser, it's like, okay, you're done streaming. Goodbye.
That's it. Bye bye. All right, I can see how you could make that severe miscalculation and judgment
There's
because
an
you're a
end
fool and a half.
screen.
You're an end screen. Sorry, that was rude of me. You're saying
Oh, there's
better
so
not be
many
some
features. Oh, I have a prediction that I don't know if it's a bad prediction or whatever, but I feel like
right.
once YouTube gets their algorithm stuff, you know, fixed, where all the
Right.
categories, oopsie, that they have
Yeah.
on the stream thing is now able to be searched through. They're obesely obese. What's the
Yeah.
opposite of obese where you're swole?
No,
Oh,
obese is
swole.
fine. No, we could go for obese.
Really, they're obscene algorithm nonsense. That would be
Right.
great to have for live
Yeah.
streams. Once that happens, then there are going to be actual competition for Twitch because their convenient VOD thing, the algorithm thing. Twitch is kind of screwing itself with its contract and pissing off
Yeah.
people. If they keep this up, like having ads that are unskippable and there's 8 of them, and they're all a minute long, no one's gonna stick around for that.
Yeah.
No one who really doubles down on ads survives. And then what's gonna replace it? It's probably YouTube if they get their algorithm nonsense together.
Oh, please. That's giving a lot of credit to YouTube. I think they'll still take a while. Speaking of which, though, back to my annoyance with this. I've got all these followers. You and
Yeah.
and Moon,
Uh-huh.
y'all were praising me on Twitter. Oh, look, I wasn't this fast. And how many? Like, at least you guys had reoccurring viewers. How many people are coming back to my stream? It's like, oh wow, this guy's cool. Let me follow, and then never check out any of his things again. I mean, it always ends up like that. It's the exact same thing on Instagram. Wow, this is a cool web comic. I wonder if it will be okay if I just never support the artist whatsoever, even though there's no reason for me, because it's a win-win situation where I get content and he gets endorphins. Wow, yeah, this mutually beneficial relationship is something I could just toss in the trash because, well, I need to go on TikTok and watch some people go for 14 hours.
I don't think it's not like we don't have that because the person
Mark,
who
just
gave
hand
me
me the
10
gun.
bits,
Give me the
the
gun.
people who came in gave me 10 bits because they liked what I was drawing. I haven't seen them again.
Yeah,
That's just
well,
normal. The people
I
who are
guess.
reoccurring are the ones I interacted with elsewhere in the community, and we recognize each other enough. We're like, oh, we like our content and the person drawing it, because people can come for the art, but they need to stay for the interactivity, and it's hard to
Well,
get a
I
connection over stream. Yeah,
try.
well, boohoo. I try too, and my most effective one is making actual friends. The process of making friends. Well, look, it
Yeah,
turns out that works
I'm
better.
not great at that
Friends.
one. Well, it's hard to be friends when I walk around thinking I'm better than everybody.
Yeah, that might be make things a little more difficult.
Um,
You know,
well, it's just hard on stream, I guess,
I
because
mean, it
they
is.
fucking
You only
the
get so
stupid
much time
yeah, and
to let
fucking
people know who you are as a person.
not just that, but I try to talk and then I freaking I ask them questions and then I keep talking. And then I keep talking and they never answer the question. I'm
That's
like, well, that's
normal.
great.
Yeah, some of them will
That's
answer
so
and some of them won't.
annoying.
That's the
What's wrong with
experience.
people?
Jimbo
Yeah,
even
la,
got that
la, la,
too. He says he has
la, la.
abandonment issues. It's like, hey, you don't
Yeah.
have to. Don't feel pressure to talk. But if you're still there, this is this question, right? Are you also an artist? Oh, it's a fine. You don't have to respond. It's okay.
That's so cute. Jimbo, you weakling. You gotta be more
Jesus fucking Christ.
more assertive. You gotta be like, oh, you're not talking? Well, I remember your username. You are now banned. uh,
It's funny. Like, I
yeah.
wish we could. It's similar to my idea of making a cartoon Twitter thought to parody,
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah, I
influencer.
remember.
The awful streamer would be another good
Awful streamer.
the
I mean,
yeah,
wouldn't
just
be that
filled
bad.
with skits where like I banned another person today because they didn't answer my question.
Well, they should have thought twice before not answering, huh?
That would be
Oh boy.
good. That'd be a
Well,
funny persona to have for a
what I'm
fake social
finding
media.
out is that I love being an entertainer, but I hate people.
You don't like the process or the people.
Yeah. Well,
You can't.
maybe I just need like a revelation like you had,
Well,
you know?
here's the thing: no one likes the process, and just some people do it anyway. And maybe there's a threshold for what you can make yourself do. Like, sure, I guess at a certain point, some people can grit their teeth through it and come out fine, and some people can't. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's it. But this
Maybe.
isn't an abnormal experience. I don't want you thinking like you're the only one who is
No,
the
no,
shitty people.
of course not. I get that most people get this experience, but it doesn't make it any less pissy. I think I just get more pissed off than others. Like I don't take this shit lying down. Like, where's my $14 billion, huh? uh, nah. I get it. But I mean, I went through my reasons why I have this reaction before, right? Because I already did it all on Instagram, so it feels like, hey, let's try this whole thing that I already tried again, and then it's just it's like I'm going in this with like a worn down, like tired old like condom, you know, and it's been used and reused again,
Sure,
and
yeah.
and at this point it's like fucking the like at this point it's like, hey, this thing has been used and reused so many times, it's practically it's practically like falling
Yeah.
falling apart. It's just a string. at
Uh-huh.
this point,
It's just your
you know.
favorite condom and you can't just stop using it.
Yeah, it's why it's my favorite, you know.
And are you
And
Casanova with his cotton sock? Is that what that is?
well, it's like it's more like I have to be this condom. Like everybody is having great success with theirs that they keep reusing, but mine looks like a ratty little junk, you know. So I'm like, okay, now I'm being told I should throw it away, but it feels kind of like garbage because it's like waiting for my condom to evolve into a beautiful
Uh-huh.
Pika condom or whatever, you know,
Peacock.
rye condom, you know. And
Uh-huh.
then fucking like it just doesn't, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, I guess I'll just abandon it. And then now it's like somebody's handing me a fresh new condom. They're like, wear it down again. I'm like, I did this before. I'm tired. I'm gonna do this crap all over again with people who are like, oh yeah, oh let me come in and like pretend like I'm gonna be invested in your stream, but I'm not being invested in your stream. I'm like, cool, thanks. How about I knife myself in the eyeball? uh
At least you don't have
anyways,
to deal with food service, because this
food
is would be
service.
like the reaction to food service, but worse. It'd be
What do
like
you mean
never
food service?
leaving your bad roommates forever. Except your roommates can make you do things for them. That's food service. So if you were to
Oh,
compare it to streaming life, which one is worse, really?
it's pretty funny because my friend invited me to work at a food stand with him for a few days.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
turn you off from the idea of food service for a long time.
Well, it seems so easy. He was like,
So is sitting on in front of a computer talking to yourself, but the emotional damage isn't easy. And
sure, I get
apparently,
that.
that's what is the stopping point?
But also the money, at least there's like tangible results in comparison, right? Like you get money, you get paid at the end of the day for like 4 days of work. I don't get anything out of this besides some people who say they'll show up again and then never show up again because following me is more of a novelty, like a good job. I'm like, I don't need your fucking pity. Just follow me if you want to watch more, and if you don't follow me. Like you're wasting my time, me getting my expectations up, and it's impossible not to get them up. You know, nobody gets unhappy at seeing a number go up. You know, that's just monkey brain. uh, I don't know, Borscht. Give me just the gun. Where's the gun? Hand it over. Uh, I don't know. You get what I mean, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
It's just
especially since
it's
like
just like I don't want to dwell on it because, since I also
fine, we'll talk
experience
about
it,
something
it's
else.
like, yeah, I just
Um,
suck it up.
You want to talk more about Derek Landy? You ever read any of his
No,
books?
I guess not.
Well, you're a trash human being. Just kidding. I overheard this conversation from like somebody else in line, but apparently there are people here. Yeah, because there are like a lot of kids there because it's young adult fantasy, right?
Uh-huh.
And there are plenty of kids there who had only read the first book. And apparently like so it was some mom gushing about this to another mom
Mm-hmm.
behind me. She's like, oh my god, he's so friendly. Like there are kids here who they like, you want to just like stand there and listen to some of these conversations because like these kids like they've only read one book and he's like engaging with them and he's talking, they're so nice and stuff. I'm like, yeah, he did strike me like that. But also I would have felt so freaking awkward if while I was trying to have a conversation with this guy, there's a middle-aged woman standing in the corner listening to everything I say. uh,
That's IRL streaming right there. That's
yeah, I heard him like, what the fuck?
well,
um, well, she,
unusual.
yeah, that was a little strange, but I mean, if it's whatever, they didn't do it to me. I'm fine. They also gave me an art print because
What's that?
I bought. Well, you know why I bought the ticket to the event? Because in my head, like it said event and it said tickets online. So my first thought was, okay, I need to buy a ticket to attend the event, like
Hmm.
any other fucking event in history. You buy a ticket so you can attend. But in And then I went online and I ordered a few books, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want him to sign a few books. And it turns out the ticket wasn't for the freaking event at all. The event is like just walk in and stand in line. And the ticket was actually for a special edition of the book, which looks the exact same. I could literally take a picture right now and show you, right? But I'll take a picture, send it to myself, or send it to you, and then I'll post it to the chat. But you'll see the only difference between the special edition book is A, it's already pre-signed, and B, the pages are orange instead of white.
Yay,
Like a
orange!
pumpkin.
Look,
And I'm like, this is cool.
orange.
But I feel like I do feel a little bit tricked. Just a little bit. I feel like, hey, why is this like this and not just like I why oh boy, this is a big picture. But you can kind of see it, right?
Let me look at.
It's like a stack of books, and the bottom, the book
Oh, it
here,
is orange.
it's just orange. I'm like, this is the book I ordered, and this is the one they gave me for this special edition. It's just the same, but in orange.
Well, is there a particular like story-based
No,
relevance to the
no,
no?
no. I don't know. I haven't read it, but it's just it reminds me of a pumpkin, so I guess that's fun, you know.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean it's
Orange.
fun, but I don't think I would have spent $15 on that since I was going to get the book signed anyways, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a funny thing, you know. Uh, but yeah, that's how it ended up being, and he signed all the other books. Yeah, it was fun. Um, but oh gosh, it was so crowded at some point. I woke up to get there an hour early, and that that was still pretty lucky. The Derry, before he even signed my book, he actually pushed past me because he wasn't there yet at the event. I was already lined up, and then he was just like, "Do I just walk to the front?" And then we were all like, "Yeah," and he just walked to the front, started signing books. It was a pretty funny moment. Uh, but yeah, I can't believe you believed me when I said he slapped the table and tried to make me dance for him.
Yeah, it's fucking how early in the morning, and I'm trying to just get out of bed. Of course, I'm gonna believe you.
But then, well, why would he smack the table and make me dance for him?
I don't know. I didn't even realize he smacked the table. I just read he made me dance for him, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I went and got ready for fucking stream for 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, after being 30 minutes late, that was great. You remember that part?
Oh yeah, the what's it? That wasn't 30 minutes. It was a whole ass hour because of daylight savings time.
What? It was still, you even sent me the correct time, and I was like, oh, cool. It's the correct time. Good job. And then you still did the wrong thing.
When was it today or when?
Yeah, yesterday you sent me the
Yeah,
thing.
I
It's like,
did.
oh, this is your time, 4:30. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
4:30 rolls around. I'm like, where the freak is
No, no.
bored?
This is when I'm waking up, and then the stream is 30 minutes after. That's what it's always been.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay. Well,
This
I
is when
thought you
I'm
meant let's
getting
start
up.
streaming.
Remember, I always wake up
Yeah,
30 minutes before the stream, and then
yeah, sure. All
that's what
right.
we've been
What,
doing.
whatever.
Wow.
Oh god. Oh, I'm gonna hurl. Hold on.
I forgot that you forget everything we've done before, and I should preface exactly what everything is every time.
Yeah, well, maybe you should have thought of that before. You fucking, you
Have we
callous
ever started
motherfucker.
on the 30 mark? We always start on
Well,
the hour.
we could have. I would have been like, yeah, sure. You know, mix it up a little bit.
And then you're like, okay, we can start stream 2 hours later. I'm like, fantastic. So this is when I'm getting up, and then we start at the hour.
I didn't announce this stream whatsoever, by the
Yeah,
way.
no one should ever. We should never announce the stream because apparently we can't be on the same page.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, well, I mean, it's fine. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
this is
it. I mean, look
almost
at
like a
the
saga at this point. We could make a clipping or comic of it, and it would just be the saga of us never getting the time right for one reason or
nah,
another.
don't worry. I mean, I'll be bitter about it, but that's the benefit of being a small streamer. Nobody cares to show up or pay attention to anything we do. It's not like we fucking put our fucking heart and soul into our work, or yeah, it's like we love doing this, and then we would love to have an audience to just have more fun. It's not about the money; it's about the enjoyment. But my friend Marshentire is on the verge of starvation. I really benefit from any sort of audience whatsoever. Maybe to
uh-huh.
parlay that into some sort of income so that she doesn't have to fucking take a dead end job and die. But I guess that's too much to ask. No, go ahead, viewer. Go jerk off to TikTok for a few more hours. That's fine. Oh, that hot girl's doing a dance. Don't let us bother you. We're just literally people in the desert dying of thirst while you bathe in the pool of sins, you motherfucker.
Our only audience member is Budgie right now, and she's like,
uh,
millets, where millets, millets.
thanks for showing up, Budgie. At least the crew that we don't pay is
The
here.
crew that we don't pay even in millets is
Yeah,
doing things.
yeah, it gives me joy. It's not like we have a kooky cast of characters and how positive reinforcement from our audience could just help shape us into better, more interesting people, and that the people who support us could get the benefit of it. It's not like any of those things are true. We're just two assholes, doing our asshole
We are
thing.
just two assholes just doing a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. I identify as an asshole.
Oh boy. I hate these colors, by the way. I still struggle so much with
Why?
goddamn colors.
Let
Oh,
me.
it's just like the lights are too light. Like, let me
I
turn this to
like the
gray.
other hue that you had for the sides,
Hmm.
the like close to the ab sides, the more
This one?
like dirty.
Oh, this like barky. Woof woof. The reddish one?
Uh I think there was more yellow and the dark brown before. And
Oh,
that
like
gave
this
it some
one.
no, lower. The mesh again. Yeah, yeah. There was some I think there was some like burnt ochre in it, and that kind of looked nice against all the other woody tones. But that's not that's a little too burnt. Oh god, fuck. What's happening? What have you
Oh, what, the
done to
horse?
him? Uh
Right. Okay. Gotcha. I'll fix the colors after I've isolated every little fucking thing.
Oh, but
As is tradition.
you see the bug effect, right? Because like in DBZ when they had those little curves around their armor, it still looked like bugs.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
The That's like, I'm sure a lot of inspiration comes from like the
Sting.
um yeah, the chitin, because like the freaking bugs are like real life armor people or whatever the fart, right?
But gee, can you
So
try making the horse a bit more yellow? He's taking
I can try
requests
making
now.
you want the yellow. Yeah. Oh, what a fantastic stream to be part of, where the other streamers engage with the audience. Look, Budgie, because you're so supportive, this guy's gonna be bright yellow. There you go. And he's staying like that
Forever.
forever
He
because I respect and care for my audience, much unlike anybody else you can watch. I won't leave you at the
You
altar.
can make the remnants of brushstrokes and like little drips of paint coming up.
Breast? Did you just say breast?
Brush strokes, you
Oh,
put.
I'm like, I would love breasts right now. It's just something to cheer me up. Uh, all right, breaststrokes. I could, but that would require me to have some semblance of artistic skill, and I would question if you even know who the hell you're talking to.
You've been
uh,
getting so good at texture now. Now that you're imagining it as like this flowy thing, it's clicked for you.
Maybe it's hard to tell for me. Give me like a few months of doing this, and then I'll be able to say if I actually got it or not.
Yeah.
You know? Um,
Because getting to understand and then solidifying the understanding is just so different.
yeah, because sometimes, like with the hex, the characters I drew for
Mm-hmm.
this, like I'm actually kind of scared to draw them again because I'm afraid if I'll even be able to match this, or if I'll just deteriorate because I haven't done it in like a week. You know?
Yeah,
It's like the test of if I actually retain the knowledge or not.
that's fair.
Yeah. Look at how garbage he looks. He looks like the garbage man. I love him. As okay, you know what? I'm being very negative, but I want you to know I'm not actually taking it that seriously. I'm just bitter, but I don't really
I'm
care
just
that
always
much.
hateful.
Yeah, I mean, I know you worry because you care so much and you don't want me to be unhappy. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm just, it's just fun to point out, and it kind of fuels my soul a little bit to be angry. You know, it feeds into that like darker side of fucking this is stupid.
Yeah, I guess BB feels way better after she go finds her angel number and gets some words of advice from whatever her face is. I forgot already.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, the number 444.
Oh no.
That's like the only thing I look up because there was like a time period where I saw that number. Even now, when I like wake up in the afternoon, it always seems to land on like 444 exactly
Mm.
when I get up. And I don't know if you know this, but four in Chinese is like 十, or like 四, yeah, 四. And that sounds really close to 死, which is death. So that's why 4 is an unlucky number in like Asian cultures. I don't know if it's the same in the Philippines or not.
I'm not in touch
Um,
with any culture.
well, there we go. Well, the number 4 is unlucky usually, right? So every time I see the number, I'm like, okay, that's a bad sign, right? Fuck. And then so eventually I was like, I'm gonna look it up to just confirm if this is like if it's actually unlucky, and then it turns out people have been looking it up because just like BB, it's like an angel number or some crap, right? It's like, oh my god, this means you're gonna be or whatever the
Yeah.
fart, but when I looked it up, the only comments I got were like, "Oh my god, is this an angel number?" And then somebody in the comments was like, "This is not an angel number. If you see this number all the time, it's something evil trying to get your attention, and you'd be best to just ignore it." you know. So there's a demon reigning over my
All
life.
right. Yeah, that's it. Is it the same cat demon? Are you gonna make the cat demon an advent of fours?
Well, the way I rationalize it is every time I see the number, it's just a demon peeking in to see if my life is still fucked. And I just don't give him the satisfaction. I'm just like, shit, fuck off, I'm busy. I've got other shit to do. And that's how I've been living my life. Has it been working? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. The contrast is too big, Borsch. Help me.
What?
Borsch. Borsch. Just fucking
We'll
fix my
add
colors.
some warmth to
Pink,
the base of the cape.
pink,
Oh my god.
red. The cape isn't the issue. It's this garbage part right here, the crotch, the groin.
Okay, zoom out. Well, yeah, that could be another place for the burnt ochre.
How about I burn you?
Is the millet demon after me? Screams. Wouldn't she just eat it? Wouldn't she just eat the demon? It's a millet
Yeah.
demon, so it should be perfectly edible for
Fine.
it's
Right.
kosher for your consumption.
Crap. What did I do? Here we go. No, I guess what's annoying is just how luck based so much of this crap is. I promise this will be the last thing I say, right? But it's like celebrities aren't celebrities because they're skillful or more skillful than others. They're just luckier than others. It's like I'm sure there was a time where you work your way up like through the fucking grit of your teeth and the sucking of the dick of the
Uh-huh.
directors. But like nowadays, it's like, oh my god, this dumb bimbo did a funny haha video that went viral. Why don't we invite her to the Poopy McAllen show so that she can show us her viral dances? Wow, that's cool. Hey, let me sign you for some fucking advertisement. And this is a funny case because these people are so stupid that they can never parlay that opportunity into any actual skill. But it does go to show that like a lot of it is just hinged on like stupid virality, you know? It's like you go viral, you get treated differently, which makes no sense either because like I said, these people suck ass for the most part. But if you're decent and you go viral, then wow, you can suddenly improve at art. Who knew that like if you have the time and the money and the space to feel comfortable, you can be better at art and produce even better things than when you were working your 9 to 5 job. And then they're like, wow, these celebrities are so talented. Maybe they just have the money and the space. Like you think Jory wouldn't be like at the top of the art world if she wasn't mentally challenged and could afford a therapist and food for the month? You think that she would be ruling shit, you know? It's like I can't say the same for me because I don't have that excuse. I'm not suffering as much. But you know, fucking Jory is like a prime example. Look at her. What's holding her back is the world, and and not her own skill or her willingness to learn. You know, which is just so fucking dumb. It's like, oh, look at fucking dumb bimbo with her titty. You know what, Borscht? Just get your tits out. Get your tits out and get fucking to work, you know, because this is the way the internet and fame works
Oh,
nowadays and celebrities.
one of
So
the
show those tatas.
one of the rewards for our videos can be like yassified March.
Yassified Marsh. Yeah, I got them Yeezys. And look, okay, not to crap all over modern day music, all right? But I'm gonna crap all over modern day
Uh-huh.
music. It's like it sounds great. It's catchy, you know. But have you ever listened to any of these lyrics? It's like, oh, I am a purveyor of big asses, and I make a lot of money, and I am also a lover of big asses. Ooh, big asses, big asses, big asses. I am a purveyor of money. It's like, congratulations. A 4-year-old could have written that, you know, and they probably have. It's like the fucking any art form that is like that in art or in writing or in music. It's like when it seems like a fucking 4-year-old could have done it, and people start arguing with the whole like, well, then, yeah, but they didn't. Why didn't you do it then? Ha ha ha! It's so easy. Then just do it. Ha! Why aren't you successful? I bet it's more difficult than you think. It's like, I'm sure it is, but also it is not that difficult, you know, because at a certain level of fame, I could shit in a cup and people would still eat it right out, you know. It's just how popular you are and how devoted your fan base is, you know. It doesn't matter. If I'm famous, I could literally be like, I
My
enjoy
bathwater.
yeah, here I am peeing in this bathwater. Would anybody like it? Oh, you don't have to drink it though. No, no, no. It's just pee. Somebody bought Belle Delphine's bathwater and ran tests on it, and it did not contain any human skin. She lied. But you see the kind of shit you can get away with. It's like I'm so exhausted, Marsh. I'm so
Yep.
tired.
Yeah, like to see the real reason why I only have so many thoughts on it is because like if I let it tire me out like that, then I would just give up right now. But I've already gotten to the point where I'm like, all this stuff may suck, but I can't let it bother me, or else I'm never gonna move, ever
Yeah,
again. And
yeah.
then I'm like, oh, cool, I can get back on the horse. And then here's this little fairy riding up on a horse made of straw and painted yellow, and he's like, you know what, sex and everything you're doing.
At least I embody what a fairy truly should be.
The bullshittery at every corner.
The evil, yeah. Well, that's what fairies are. I hate these depictions of fairies.
The
They're like,
fairies are
oh,
hate.
yeah, they're like, oh, traveler, let me help you
Oh,
with your fucking
traveler,
travel.
eat shit.
It's like, Yeah, shut the fuck up. That's not what a fairy is. A fairy is like, hey, let's dance in a circle, and then you dance, and then after a while you realize I can't ever stop dancing, and I'm going to die here, and then the fairies just laugh in your face. Or the classic like, hey, you want to come to a party at my house, and then you go to a party at their house, and then you come back and you realize 6,000 years have passed and all your family and friends are dead.
That
Like that's what
reminds me.
fairies do, you
Like
know?
a modern day fairy is the person that gets someone into be an alcoholic, and then they're such a bad alcoholic that they can't remember anything. Like, did you hear about that guy who just one day woke up, without so much alcohol in his system? He's like, I don't remember getting my wife. I don't
I
remember.
don't remember getting married.
I don't remember this, and that's what's fucking sobered him up. He woke up one day and was like, "How many years have passed? I don't remember anything I've ever done." That sounds a lot like a fairy experience.
Yeah, there you go. I think that guy wasn't drunk. He was just under fairy
Yeah,
dust.
yeah, it had to be the fairies. There's
Yeah,
got to be.
because it's fucking like that's what fairies are known for. Don't come in here with that like nature bullshit. Like that's not what they're about. They're fucking gremlins, and we all know they are. You know. One thing I will say is though I do enjoy this new song where the guy says my money doesn't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I thought that line was very clever. That's pretty funny.
Well, yeah, this turns out some people
Some
can.
people could yeah, it's I'm not saying R&B is bad. I'm not saying you can't make good songs that are just like people talking and being like I like big ass. That's the subject matter is not the issue. It's the amount of fucking effort. You ever heard like what's her face's fucking Shake It Off? What's her name? Taylor Swift? Is it Taylor
Well, here's
Swift?
the funny thing as well is that you talk about music as if only the like really popular ones, the pools that I never bothered to swim in, are the thing, the ruler to go upon when there's retro swing, there's like satanic organ music, and
Yeah,
fucking. And it's like, I don't know. And
sure.
they're doing fine. And sure, some
I
of them are
think
niche and underground and need a little bit more advertising. But, a few of them only
yeah.
have maybe 300,000 views on any average day. And they seem to be touring and doing concerts and selling albums. Like,
Oh, I guess maybe it's just the way the algorithm is set up because it's so in my face, I suppose, in a way, right?
sure. But what
Like,
algorithm, like any basic vanilla stuff will always get more than a niche thing. No matter how good the niche thing is, anything that stretches across more Venn diagrams is gonna be higher. So why should it
yeah.
bother you when, of course, vanilla is gonna reach more people than pistachio mustachio with a cherry on top.
Pistachio mustachio. I love my pistachio mustachio.
Mustachio.
It was a fantastic flavor. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean I know all this to be true. It's not like I
Feelings.
don't know.
Monkey
It's just
feelings.
annoying. That's why it's fun to vent, right? Because because if we had an audience, then people would agree with me, and then I would gather more audience. But no, no, they're all busy watching fucking some bimbo lick the microphone for like 6 hours. And props to that girl because she's a genius. If I could get away with licking the mic for 6 hours every day, first of all, that would be hell on my tongue too, right?
Right,
So
right.
this is a physical task.
Yeah,
But
no, it's
if
not
there's enough
free.
dumb, horny virgins who are willing to pay me for it, I could all the power to you. You are intelligent and wise and a great person. But like the fucking issue I have is with these little like teeny weeny small dick audience members who are twiddling their little ding dong with a pair of tweezers in the corner, listening to this dumb fucking microphone licking for 6 hours. Just watch porn.
Just watch. It's
Just get an
free.
addiction
Watch
to porn.
pod.
Yeah, do you know how much fucking porn there is out there? There's so much porn that it baffles me that people bother with like borderline porn. It's like, what's the draw here, my friend, my brother? What's the draw here? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are there people who go out and like, even if you only give these people like $3, it's like, why just stop. Get like a monthly subscription to Bang Brothers or something. It's like, it's not necessary for you to pitch your money to somebody who is going to show one tit after 4 years of like dragging these people along, you know.
But I disagree with that red hair dude. Yeah, you good?
No, just like what it feels like is like I watched this fucker Struthless on YouTube, and he was the same way. It's like, what you need is you just have to build up your 1,000 followers, and then the rest will come because you just need your 1,000 loyal people. Like my friend, I need one person to come and watch my streams willingly. It's like all these people have this grand assumption that if you click, you start producing content, people will watch it. That is not the case. You will produce content and no one will watch it. No one will ever watch it because there's 14 million other people like you. And then it's like, you just have to wait on the off chance that somebody gives you a chance and decides to invest time in your garbage over other people's garbage, you know.
Yeah, that's the game. Sure, they can
I
dumb
hate
it
this
down.
game.
They dumb
This
it
is
down
so
over, you know,
stupid.
from a later
Just
point, but it starts from the same
fuck
place.
this. Borscht, I commend you. You're a brave individual. Also, I don't know what to do with these colors. They suck ass. Borscht. I'm so fucking done.
Oh my god, we just swung into
I hate these colors. Fucking colors. They're the worst colors. No, they aren't. They,
you know
like,
what
it
fixes
doesn't...
everything?
No.
An overlay gradient on
What
top.
fixes
You know what fixes everything?
killers?
Remember when you were like, oh, things aren't unifying. Your teacher's like, oh, layer on top gradient on
But
the
that's
final
what you do at
painting.
the end.
Well, you can do
At
it
the
now
end,
for a
Borscht.
frame of reference.
Oh, here it is. Now he's fucking green. I hope you're happy. You fucking clown and a half. I wonder what Derek Landy would think if he saw this side of me. Yeah, I was so
he
friendly
would
to
slam
him.
the table and make you dance.
I was like, oh yeah, I was studying to be a comic artist. He's like, that's so cool. I'm like, thanks. I only wish you knew the suffering.
Thanks, I'm crying.
Yeah, he's like, what kind of story would you make? And I was like, oh, I would love to do something like Bone. And he just stared at me, and I could see the joy in his eyes. He was like, yeah, I love that story. I was like, that's great. He was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I love Bone. He's like, yeah. And then because smash cut to 2 hours from then on, where I'm fucking on the edge of my sanity because of this bullshit.
Okay, here's another thing. When has it not been like this? We have the internet on our hands, and before we would have to do this on foot. We would have to build up our dumb stuff, rely on the tiny bit of like people we gather, and then get that to work. And you know what? Now I'm just doing that process we're supposed to do in school and during our work. I'm doing that in communities. And, you know, the people you find in the beginning are now your comrades in arms out to fight the horde that is this horrible algorithm.
I get it, right? But the point is that I'm so insanely worn down by this stuff I've done before. Like if I went into this with like, if it was my first thing, I'm sure I could have powered through it. You know, I'm sure it would have been fine.
Like, I think you had to hate your first thing because you're doing it so unhealthily. Something was gonna be sacrificed for your learning curve. Like how you didn't like writing for a long time until, you know, you became, you know, healthy enough to go back to writing.
Oh, I'm not writing that much.
You're writing a story. That's like.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count.
That counts. Come on.
I just don't want to give myself too much credit.
You're also a dumbass. That's why.
Fuck you. The hell are you on about?
Sucks, and and also I can't accept any compliment because
Yeah.
woo.
Shut the fuck up. Look, it's just I that's all fine and dandy, right? But it's just Instagram. Instagram is the worst place to start out with. It's just so disgusting with its numbers and its algorithm. I feel like I would have been just as depressed if I had like 10,000 or 100,000 followers, because then the realization would have just come later that all these fucking idiots don't care at all. You know, it's just like a, I don't know, how do you say it? What would you call it, Borscht?
Well, the algorithm does suck. Like, regardless of the way things are, Instagram is just kind of, it breeds toxicity.
Yeah, it's a cesspool where dreams go to die. And then it's that's just the way it is, you know, because the fucking, like, how are you supposed to compete? Like, this fucking, you remember this one comic artist, Amy Illustrates,
Oh,
who
that's your
who I interacted
favorite.
with?
It's your favorite
That's like,
example.
what's my, yeah, because it's my go-to for like bullshit, unfair, like Instagram algorithm crap. You know what was it? It's like
Oh, I can do
okay.
political and I'll never go out of it again because it's so successful. Also, do the same thing over and over again,
Oh
right?
yeah, it's so annoying because it's, first of all, her comics. Not to say that they don't take effort, right? But they're so quick to make. I remember this was a time where I was still very slow with art, so like my 4 panel thing would take me a week to make, right? And then it's just impossible to bitter when I'm having conversation, to be bitter, to not be bitter when I'm like having conversations with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I did this in 3 hours." I'm like, "Ha ha 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 ha," you know. It's like the the laughing, crying, crap, you know. And she used to just pump out comics like on the day she was supposed to make a comic for a weekly posting. She would just make it, you know. I'm planning and then like racking my brain for ideas because I don't like going political. I think going political is like the laziest type of humor you can make, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so, it feeds into this, like, it doesn't feed into anything but like people's hatred and like they're
Oh,
like incessant ego need to
you
be
mean
right,
like,
you know.
is that why you shouldn't do politics in entertainment? Is that why you shouldn't
Yeah.
do really hard topics on things that should be given to others as a form of entertainment?
See,
Like in
look,
the case of our stream that
there's a difference. There's a difference, and the difference is pandering versus like actually saying something of substance. You know, you see it every day in like modern day media, right? Like there's no actual substance, there's no actual representation. They can make as many characters as they want, black, blue, yellow, and Asian and whatever the hell, you know, but it doesn't amount to any representation. It's just like, I threw this character in because black people exist. It's like, congratulations, you know. You have done nothing for the black community. You are a fool and an idiot. And it's the same for Asians. It's like, oh my god, this guy's Chinese, but in the original he was white. It's like, what does this do for me? You know, what, how? It's nice, it's fine, but like they do it and then they're like done and dusted. You know, my job is finished here. You know, that's kind of how they treat it, and it's like fan freaking tastic, but you've affected nothing. You know, and that's kind of like, I don't mean to shit on Amy Illustrates too much, but it really seems like pandering what she's doing, you know. And it's really hard to look past it when she made one successful comic on Black Lives Matters, you know, which I can see as being like a genuine like fucking like post where it's like, let me support these people, cool, cool, cool. But then the next like 11, I kind of raise my eyebrow as if you're actually like, are you supporting the cause or are you just doing it because you know it gets algorithm points? You know, which one is it? You know, it's hard to separate the two and to take it as like a positive thing when the benefit, the gain that the freaking artist has to get from it is so apparent. You know what I mean?
it's like I can see that happening. It's just hard to separate from like
State and church.
I guess for like it would be so easy to be misconstrued as that. If I were to my first thought when I find someone who is doing it wrong is, how would someone doing it right look? And then
Yeah.
it's like,
I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't repeat the same joke over and over again and pretend like it's something original.
Well, if
Like
you
her,
look at our
her
streams, Waffle, after every stream, Waffle's like, oh, this is only the third time I've heard this argument or conversation. Oh, this is the fifth time. And, he rates our
well,
stream on varying degrees of how many times has he heard this.
Waffle is not the everyman. Waffle is the angry
And turns out we're just repetitions of our favorite ideas. So let's say there is someone who is pandering to an idea that is not their own. They're not going to look any different than someone who's naturally just repeating themselves because humans repeat themselves. Like if we look at Shen,
sure.
he has like 50% life sucks comments, and the rest are new idea on life sucks comic.
Okay, right. So you're saying that, in essence, we should give her the benefit of the doubt. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't need to give people benefit. I don't need to give this person the benefit of the doubt since you talked to them and I don't know, you may have more context, but to take this information and this
my rage and nothing more.
but then to take this concept and then apply it to something past this one scenario is more difficult. Because we may have, subliminal senses to tell when someone is, not being genuine or not. Like humans have that. But if we were to take this as a, political versus non-political, or fighting for a cause versus not fighting for a cause, genuine versus not genuine, the takeaway is
humans are scum and we should end humanity before it's too late.
Okay, the second takeaway is difficult. Because, and ending sentiment after, yes, you shouldn't pander with politics is, okay, how to identify when you're pandering, when are you pandering, when is it okay? Those questions we don't have answers to because they look very similar.
Very similar to what?
I'm doing it incorrectly.
There you go. You just didn't finish your sentence.
Well, that's because I've been repeating myself, and so I figured that if I didn't repeat myself one more time, you would still be caught up.
No, I need a complete sentence. I'm stupid for it. Now you're making fun of people with disabilities. I have to cancel abortion tire.
I'm gonna abort abortion tire.
Well, it's funny, right? Okay, this is the last political thing I'll say. Well, I say that, but this is probably not going to be the last, right? What I dislike so heavily is that it always has to be one or the other in politics. You're never just like, I have these views on this and these views on that. You're either right or left, It's like, oh, you're not with us, then you're against us, And it's like and suddenly you find yourself like being lumped in with people who have like extreme ideals. It's like the right side that has cool ideas about certain stuff, but also really, really stupid ones. And the left side also has cool ideas, but also really stupid ones. And then you can't have a conversation with anybody who's political, which is why I don't have any political friends, because the conversation just evolves into like, no, you think this thing is correct from that side, then you must also hate this racial minority. It's like, no. In what world do these two correlate? If I went to you and I said I like donuts, would you be like, well, Adolf Hitler liked donuts too, so you must be an anti-Semite? No, you wouldn't.
You didn't go for the easy one, which was he was an artist.
He was an artist, right? It's like the whole Hitler was vegetarian, Does this mean that vegetarians hate Jews? No.
Well, that mechanic is the same thing that makes you basically hate everyone that comes into like chat. Like any random person who isn't doing this or that. It reminds you of someone else who probably didn't do this or that. That was a much worse person, and so everyone gets lumped into one category. So that's like, what are you even gonna do? Yeah, humans are naturally like we find ways where it's not working, and then we forget about our own. That's natural. That is a human thing to do.
Hold on, I'm good enough at manipulating people to twist it in my favor. Give me a second.
No, let me crack my knuckles. I'm ready for this. This is just do battle.
This is where we finally have our confrontation. All right, look. So your point is I'm a hypocrite because I lump people in the same way, right?
I'm saying that you can chill because people are stupid, and if you make same mistakes as stupid people, maybe you won't get as angry and caught up on their wrongdoings and be able to then give them the patience to
Uh,
unpack them,
uh,
and thus then you can have the
mm,
conversation you always wanted
mm,
because you're not flying off the cuff and they aren't flying off the cuff because you took the time to explain the intricacies of the
mm.
situation.
See, but I'm better than human. I'm better than anybody who comes into my stream. I'm superior. I am more handsome. I have a nicer smile, and my dick is way bigger. So I guess my counter argument is screw you and go to hell. You could see I spent months at the bait camp.
Yeah, because it's
Uh,
fun having political conversations. You just have to
no, it's
grab them enough to get a level of understanding. Because what they're doing is they immediately see someone they've talked to before in you, and if you don't like disarm that right away, you see someone with a loaded weapon, you're like, "Whoosh out! Take the weapon away," and then you can
yeah.
be like, "Hey, look, this is how this thing is. I know you're not talking to me. You're talking to someone else entirely. You should hear me out,
You
and
see,
I'll hear
you're
you out."
giving so much leeway to dumb monkeys. You know it's not like that. We both know it's not like that.
Well,
Because if it were like that, then there would be no conflicts, right? The
no,
thing
because
is
people
that
are always assuming things about each other. If you don't
yeah, but
do
that's the
that,
way it is.
well, then how are you not? You want people to calm down for you, but you can't calm down for them because I have
Yeah,
plenty of
exactly.
political conversations, and so how come I can have them and you can't when we're both as stupid as possible?
Okay, look, I might seem like I'm very angry, which I am, but I will calm down to listen to other people's opinions, right? I think
And then
the people who
misunderstand them, get angry, and then not talk to them anymore.
well, that doesn't happen as much anymore. See, I've improved. But the thing is, the people who I'm complaining about aren't people who have conversations with the other side. It's people who see the other side yelling on media, and then they're like, "Well, I have to yell too," and then that's mostly what happens, you know.
Oh well,
Eh,
I'm going off
because
of
they're
not having
stupid.
political friends and not having political conversation with friends. Like if we're talking about social media shit, then yeah, no, you can have that one. That's
Yeah.
just, I don't even like
Well, I mean,
acknowledging that
yeah, well,
exists.
political conversations with friends, that's fine, because the
You
fucking like,
did. You
but
said
that's not
you
like
don't. You said you don't. That's what I'm going off of. You said I don't have
what? Because I
political
don't have
friends.
any political friends.
You
Yeah,
said
because
I
I just
don't
don't
because of this
associate.
mechanic. So I'm like, oh, you can still have it. It's
Yeah,
purely
sure,
focused
but
on the
it's
friend
also
angle.
political. People who are invested in politics are insanely boring. You know, they're all like, "Oh, ooga booga, let me
75% of
be."
toasty. Okay.
Oh, they are. Well, I don't talk to them about politics. Maybe that's what I have to do. Just never talk to anybody about politics. Well, I'm sorry. I was refer. I thought we were talking about why I hate streaming and the audience
Oh,
who joins in.
no, we were. I was focusing. I probably wasn't clear. I was focusing on the comment that you don't have political friends because of this mechanic.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Okay,
No,
well.
I was talking more like I don't fucking I hate any I hate people because of this. That
Okay,
was
well, yeah,
what I
yeah,
was
people
going to
suck. I'm with you now.
yeah. Because it's so dumb. It's like it's not like because if it were the way you described, which makes sense for friends, you know, you can listen to one another and it's fine. But that's not the fucking way it is with like random people online, right? It's like oh wait, oh gosh. The fucking monkey is coming back. I have to open the door. All right, carry the
Yeah, yeah,
conversation
sure,
for our
sure.
0 viewers. Speak
Uh-huh.
away. All right.
Yeah. Um, turn off split screen. Turn off. Bam! Drill! I think I over rendered again. Yeah, I think I completely over rendered. But it's so much fun. I just like cleaning up stuff too much. At least the big shapes are there. That's all I really need is big shapes. Yeah, unfortunately, Deck is the only entertaining one, and I don't have any jokes or bits. I just talk about art.
Human beings are scum.
Uh-huh.
All right, where was I? I'm gonna get back into the energy I had before. Listen up.
Does it
Well,
also
fucking,
include vomiting?
I was burping and I almost threw up. It's so fucking like if it was friends, it makes so much sense because yeah, friends can have a conversation because there's that basis of friendship. But like people who like they just see people yell and they're like the only way I can be heard is to yell back. And then they work themselves into this they're both sides are so stupid because they're like there's only the extremes and then they let themselves get worked into the extremes and then now we have the person with dementia as president. And it's just like
Oh,
why
I have a couple. Like,
why
I know this is a thing in the states. Like, the duality is one of the critiques of the states, where the whole binary system creates so much
yeah
discord. And then I heard the other side where there's so many parties that you can't. There's basically like just as much lack of substance, but in a very new and interesting way.
yeah of course but the
And
rest
so,
of the
no,
world
it was a
can
question,
doesn't
you
have these
dumbass.
arguments.
It was a fucking question I was asking. Like,
Oh,
that, because those two exist, and I only
right,
know the fucking binary one. Is it common
right.
to be stuck in binary outside of the US? Because it sounds like a whole entire US thing more than a
it
world thing. So what's your
it could
experience?
well I'm not crazy into politics but like
You have enough to have an
um
opinion.
yeah as far as I know like the governments in Germany and Switzerland and Finland they they well, first of all, there's no extreme division, so that at least I can say there's definitely more parties than other countries, at least in Germany, and like a majority vote is super small or something, and that's fine. But like the thing that gets me is that there is no crazy division. Like there's no right wing, left wing, and then like there's only those two parties because it's dumb, it's stupid. People argue over it, people divide families over it, and you kind of cut out every other option as well, and it just makes no sense. And at least every other government in the world provides free healthcare, which is just so strange to me. But the reason I guess why I bring up the US so much is because it's rubbing off on every other part of the world, right? Like it's impossible to pretend like it doesn't. Like the US political thing, even though it's only the US and it should really only affect people in the US, except for like freaking like I hate people who say like this is gonna affect us all. It's like shut the fuck up, George. No, it isn't going to affect us all. How affected were you by freaking like Trump being in candidacy, huh? Except for like a funny news headline, huh? You fucking idiot. You're living in Central Europe. Nothing he does is going to affect you. This affects us all. No, it doesn't. You're stupid. And you're putting, it's just a way for them to justify their incessant like obsession over it and to be like, oh my God, he's racist and sexist. It's like, okay, cool. We get it. It's not our problem, is it? But that's the way they act, that's the way they talk about stuff, and then it just rubs off onto every other part of the world. And I'm talking about it not because I care, but because people around me care, and it annoys me. you know it's like bro Biden, he's got dementia. That's just funny to me. Like I'm not concerned or worried about the state of the world. I'm just like, he doesn't know how to wipe his bum anymore. you know
I'm really attached to our new character, Bro Peter.
bro Biden.
He has such a
I
catchy
honestly,
name on it.
yeah, at most I just feel bad for him because he just needs to be in a home. It's like cool. You know, like, I don't say this to be mean or anything. It's just like if I'm walking around and shaking invisible ghost hands, and talking about Afghanistan or whatever, and I need to be escorted away by like CIA security in a bunny suit, I think that it's time for me to retire. You know, like I don't think it's really pertinent that I stay acting like I can't even do my job. What's the point?
Uh-huh.
You can keep me on as like if I was like a comic artist, you can keep me on as like a head of the board or something. But what am I really doing there except for drooling and and,
Well, he's
and
basically there probably to have one party have control of the board. I think that's what it is, because like even the voting process is skewed to like the person almost doesn't matter. They just need one side to have strength to get the things they want passed before the other person can
yeah,
counter it. That's what it feels like nowadays.
yeah, it almost sounds like a dystopian universe.
Oh, but yeah,
Because
going
it
back
is.
to individuals conversation versus big ones. I used to want to change the world, and back in college. I was more motivated to
All
do what
right, you
sort
were a
of
hippie.
change that
I remember.
that's a broad term, but we'll all let it slide.
Grass smoking, dirty
Yeah,
hippie.
muffin eating from the middle of the
Muffin eating,
pathway in the middle of the forest.
non-showering, van living hippie. I get it.
But fucking
Societal waste.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one. Uh, yeah, once I realized that you can't have a conversation with anyone but like someone close to you, then that kind of quelled the energy to do anything. Because the change that you're most likely to affect is someone you can have a good conversation with, which is probably an acquaintance or a friend, and then that kind of like migrated back to things like streaming, networking, and art career, which is the only people I'm really gonna affect are ones that I make a connection with, and that's kind of just how it
Right.
is.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of my original point why I started this
Oh,
whole angry rant, which is it's
wow.
impossible to make connections with these flimsy, dumbass
Uh-huh.
internet denizens who don't care to stick around for more than 3 seconds.
Uh-huh.
There you go. That was my point. I hate them for that
Uh-huh.
reason. It's like, oh, hey, let me come check out what you're doing. Oh, am I going to interact and actually try to do a meaningful like connection? It's like I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to engage. It's not my freaking fault if they don't answer and then suddenly dip out and then like they're like, oh wow, this is so exciting. Let me follow you. Let me check out your next streams, and then they never show up again. Like that has absolutely nothing to do with the level of like input I'm giving in. That's just the whims of the people. And that's exactly why I'm so cynical about it, because I see somebody join in, they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, cool person who's going to speak for another 12 seconds. I sure love having you here so that you can ghost me and then never come back. And then this is the level of support I get,
Sure, but
for
like
apparently being entertaining or
what
whatever.
is this Sonata mechanic for? Like advertising companies have a whole, how much money invested into how does brain works to take advantage of monkey brain, and the movie posters are bright, obnoxious colors, so people stare at it and maybe are interested in a fucking movie that's coming out, and this is just never not been a thing. And then you could either delve into these people that have invested money and time to find things to showcase your personality. Like our themes are one good example of it. And this is basically the best way of us to communicate our personalities is through our avatars and through our stream themes. That's the only chance we get, because one moment we have beautiful art in the thumbnail, and then next moment I'm zoomed in into this green spot, and there's no way anyone's gonna fucking click on my dumb stream.
I guess it's true. It's just it makes it so hard to care enough to put in any effort in. That's I guess is where the draw is. It's like why should one put in effort if this is like what is met with it? You know what I mean?
Sure, but that's why I always bring up these examples, because if this is a thing in almost any venue, it's like the idea that like your grass is greener, but if there is no other greener grass, then you might as well just go
The
into it.
grass is black from the scorching
Yeah, I
flames.
mean, I guess still the emotional aspect where sure if you're not emotionally invested you can't make yourself do anything, and no amount of logic is going to change that. But if there's
Yeah.
still enough room for logic to affect things, then the idea that nothing is not like this can maybe be like a disarming mechanic to go like, oh okay, I guess I might as well just get this over with.
It's more of a depressing mechanism. See, that all works in like the big idea sense, where if I think hard enough, it makes sense on a cosmic level. When I'm
Sure.
talking about like the deep and personal, like I have to sit here and I have to talk for an hour so that one motherfucker can come in and not be like, oh my god, nobody's saying anything, and then just leave immediately. So I have to put in the legwork of yapping on about some bullcrap for an hour so that one yuppie can come in for 1 second and then decide they're not interested after having like a booby poo poo chat, and the worst are the people who have like longer chats and then they just still dip out, it's
There's
like
streamers that don't talk. There's just streamers who only type.
yeah, but then that's not what I want to present myself
Well, then
as.
what do
There's also
you
like this
want?
I want to talk and I want people to come in and listen. And I don't want to have to speak for an hour for one guppy. See, it's different if I talk for an hour and this person comes up and then they're like, wow, this is cool. And then they come back next time. That's fine. That's
That'll
perfectly
happen
acceptable.
eventually. You just have to put
Yeah,
in. It's
I just
IRL
have to
fishing.
live through the like have potentially hundreds of thousands of failures
Yeah.
before I can
Yeah, that
get to
is. And
the
that's the only way you're gonna do it too, unless you just magically become viral or do something to catch so much attention that people click the funny link with the funny
I
numbers.
could, but I would be arrested. I don't know. My point just goes back. I guess it's hard to argue against me because my point just goes back to I'm tired of this crap, which is an undefeatable point because it's so insanely subjective. Um, I don't know. See, I can't give a solid assessment on if streaming is a fun thing or not. Because I don't feel like I've really experienced it. It's supposed like everybody who talks about streaming being fun talks about the interactions, and talks about how you can be with other people and chill with other people and how fun that is, and like I feel like my experiences don't reflect that, so I can't really sit here and say I don't want to stream, I don't like streaming because I don't think I've ever gotten that like actual true reflection of whether or not this is for me.
Well, even
You know
if
what I
you
mean?
got it, I don't know if you'd be able to identify it because you'd be thinking so much about whether this person is a sack of shit or not. But even if you
Yeah,
you
but
have this moments where you're talking about comics or anime with this random passerby, you don't value that interaction. Have you not had it already with the people who just randomly came in on
I,
your first day of streaming, which never
could
happens to
I
some
could
people?
see
The lucky people
I
only
could
get viewers on their
I could
first day.
disprove it. I have counter evidence, and the counter evidence is Bill Sue. uh, Bill Sue only showed up once, but I knew he's a man with a heart of gold.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I really hope he doesn't get arrested for something after I say that.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, Marsh,
Oh, what's
you're
up?
turning into a robot. What's going on?
Oh, maybe internet stuff. It was out for a couple hours, or I don't know,
Borscht?
for at some point.
Abortion time?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is my stream still on?
Hello?
Hello? Maybe it's you. Nah, it looks like it might be you, man.
Gosh.
Oh, hey, Disappoint. Hello. Goober.
Oh,
Goober.
hey, are you back?
Goober.
Hello.
Hi.
It was funny because I started talking about Bill Sue and you turned into Guarnoco, the Devourer of Worlds.
I love Glenargo. How has he been?
You're just like, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Guarnoco.
It's just been so long since we've seen you. I just want to make you feel welcome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were saying.
Oh,
I said Bilsu is a good example of the opposite being true because at the moment I met him, I knew he was gonna pop around and actually be a supporting
yeah,
person.
maybe
You
you're
know.
just dumb. I was just saying hi to Disappoint.
Oh, you're saying hi to Disappoint. Hey,
Yeah.
Disappoint, my closest friend. Hey, are you following me? Yes, because I would love for you to do so, so I can increase this worthless number and somehow someday get some sort of benefit from it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that was my point. That even if you had the thing you wanted, you probably wouldn't be able to enjoy it because then there would be like, oh, this is only one person. It's not a lot of people, which is maybe already happening. I don't know.
Well, that's more true for something like Instagram because on Instagram it's like one person doesn't mean a lot because they aren't there to interact with you. They're there to like just mindlessly press like on your bull crap, you know. But it's different on Twitch, right? On Twitch, they're supposed to be there
Why aren't
to
you
talk to
happy?
you, huh?
Then why aren't you happy?
Well, there's nobody. There's nobody
Look, we
to
had
interact.
Bilsu, Disappoint is
Yeah,
here,
we
Budgie
have
was
Bilsu.
earlier.
We
So you'll
have
never be
this kind of
happy.
stuff.
You're just gonna be constantly
No, I
finding
need
things
it
to
for
be
myself.
unhappy with. Look at you
That,
go.
well, that's
Oh,
just life, isn't it?
yes, it is. But
But
that's not
like
the point.
freaking
Yeah.
yeah. Like it's for us, you know. It doesn't tickle the same thing. It doesn't show in a way that I can do it by myself, you know. It's like I'm flying with crutches or
Sure,
something,
and
you
you're
know.
sure
I'm
not
doing
gonna.
it, but only
That's everyone flies with crutches, and also you're not gonna get anyone by yourself if you just stream 3 times and then go, ah, I'm on crutches. I'm not stuck now.
yeah, sure, of course not. Wait, why don't I ask? This is my like fourth, fifth time streaming while we're doing the effort. Let me ask the people in my chat right now
I
what
see
they
how it
think.
is, heck boy. I'm not good enough.
Oh, 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 it's my chat is empty.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times. That's nothing in the scheme of how long people have been suffering
No,
streaming by themselves. Even Ao Jimbo had empty ass streams. You know, it took him 2 years to scrounge up where he is. And even you knew this, and with fucking social media and YouTube, it took people years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just gonna quit being an artist. Screw
Well, you're
this.
gonna
I'll be a
quit being
Minecraft
on
YouTuber.
social media, that's for sure.
No, I'm doing my 100-day Minecraft challenges because that's the easy money right there. Well, day 15, I finally got iron. It's like
You
every one
have
of
to
those
edit
videos is
for
like that.
that. You're gonna have to edit your own videos, and that's
Oh
how likely you're gonna do
no, how
that.
difficult is it going to be to
Apparently,
cut me
very difficult considering we
mining
haven't
some
made a
crap
single F art
and
video.
then clip me over talking over it, being like, I don't really remember what happened on this day. It's like, congratulations, you have made content that 12-year-olds enjoy, and it, you know, all the power to you because the people,
It'll take you longer to make that video. And you could have made like 12 F art videos in
I
that
could make
time.
that video if I had the raw footage, I could make it in a day.
Yeah, but you're not gonna, so
Yeah.
what now?
Well, okay, fine. Let's record more fart content.
Sure.
So that let's do it right now. Here's the challenge: take a knife, stab yourself repeatedly. Uh, no, I tire. I have more of
You
an audience
marsh
in
entire.
yeah, more. I have more of an audience in this room in real life than I ever had on
In the
on any
small
stream.
amount of time you've been streaming, wow.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah,
all
well,
the other people definitely get how many active viewers with so little time streaming. That's for sure. You, for some reason, you're just the weird outlier.
well, I'm glad you agree. It means a lot to get the support from my friend. Yeah, so what? I'm gonna keep complaining, and you know why I can? You know why I
This
can with
is.
zero
I
impact?
somehow agreed to it in exchange for
Wha-
an even more important thing that's
no,
coveted.
The reason I can do it is because no one's watching. No one's hearing this. After this VOD is going to disappear, unpublished on the stream, and none will be the wiser that any of this ever happened. I can call all these people, the dumbest idiots in the world, and they'll never hear it. Except for the YouTube VOD, which is permanent. But don't worry about that one. I'll cross
That's
that
not
bridge
the
when I come to it.
important one. The one that matters
Yeah.
is my channel.
Yeah. Who cares about how successful we are? I want to be the rich one.
You already are.
Yeah, but I want to. I don't want it through ill. What's it called?
Ill-gotten means.
Ill-gotten means. Yeah, I want it through legitimate means. There's only so much joy you can derive from selling drugs to underage children.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but yeah. I guess I mean it all harkens back to the same thing, which is that I'm exhausted from my previous experiences with social media, which makes me so much more cynical and it gives me so much less of a patience level for this kind of stuff. Because the excitement is gone. Like when I remember when I first started posting on Instagram, I got like one follower and it'd be like the biggest thing in the world. And then you get up to 50 and you're like, wow, 50 people follow me. That's amazing. Oh my god, I can't believe 50 people are here to look at my content. But like now it's like I'm grumpy and old and I've become cynical, and it's like, oh look, another person. I wonder how they're gonna ignore me in the future.
Well, doesn't that mean you can just go through the motions robotically and
No,
not experience that weird
no,
emotional roller coaster that's really
no,
just unhealthy and not good for
yeah.
anyone?
Well, possibly. But do you know who you're speaking to? Do you know who I am? You know exactly what it's gonna be like, Borscht.
Well, you've been getting
That's what.
better. Not letting
Yeah,
emotions chuck you off the cliff as often.
like getting better at knife throwing so that I can kill people over a greater distance. uh, oh god, I don't know. I miss Waffle. We used to talk every day. The closest of friends, and now it's like he's like, you're too negative. I'm like, Waffle, no, and then he stopped talking to me. It's like all you ever talk about is how you hate these certain races of people. I'm like, Waffle. uh, oh well. Do you have any authors you like that you went met in person?
Well, I do have authors I like, but no one I've ever met in person because I tend to be poor and they're always in, other states than me.
Oh, well, I guess I got lucky because this is a free book signing, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's not making any money from this, which is pretty funny. Even the book I bought that was a special edition was more expensive in the non-special edition on Amazon when I got it because I got the other one too, right? Which is funny. So he's selling his stuff at a loss and also including like a free art print and stuff like that. So I guess it goes to show what kind of a person he is. Free art signings and he chats with everybody and he's selling stuff at a loss.
That's
Just to
cool.
like provide people with this stuff, which is great. What a beautiful force of positivity. Too bad it doesn't overrule that incessant negativity I feel in my heart.
Too bad it can't help me.
It's too bad that my heart is already blackened. It's like one of those century eggs. uh, but yeah. He was a lot skinnier in person than on his pictures. I didn't want to tell him that because I didn't know if he'd take it wrong. But good for him. Seems like he also lost quite a bit of weight since he wrote those books. Getting in shape. That's nice.
So, have you guys been keeping up with the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial? It's very
What do you
funny.
got? Yeah. I haven't been watching it because I can't stand to watch Amber Heard. That it gives me too much of the cringe. You know what I mean? Where like everything she says sounds like a lie,
Because we
and I'm
probably
like,
met one in our life.
yeah, I think that's what it is. She reminds me of people I've known, so it's kind of hard to watch. I just watch the clips when they pop up. like one where she said that Johnny Depp had a a jar of cocaine. Even I thought that was a little bit far fetched. He had a jar of cocaine, you know, and like the other pictures where she's like posing for like the paparazzi or whatever, and she's I don't know, the somebody pointed out that she only stopped wearing makeup on one of the days where she, because it seems like she had planned to start fake crying, you know, so that she didn't want to mess up her makeup, so she wasn't wearing any on that one specific day. And then also another one where supposedly she's snorting cocaine in court, because it looks suspiciously like she's snorting cocaine in court, you know. That's another one I saw. Is there any particular one you want to point out, because you brought this up, right?
Oh, I didn't. I was reading Disappoints comment.
Oh, you were reading Disappoints comment.
Yeah,
I
cause
thought you were just speaking.
no, cause the only thing I know about it is you know, just the memes, which is hearsay.
Oh yeah, here say this, here say that. Yeah, it's not really worth following, I'd say. Like, it's not interesting. It's supposed to conclude soon, right? It's supposed to conclude in a week or two or something, and then they give their verdict. I mean, who really cares about the verdict at this point? I mean, it's become the thing that has dominated the internet over the last few weeks. So I don't think anyone's going to go see Aquaman 2 if Amber Heard's still in it. And likewise, I don't think anybody's going to see a movie with her at all. It's like kind of what happened with Brie Larson, you know?
It's
But
also what happened with Depp, so it's kind of interesting.
yeah, it is. Well, the thing with Brie Larson was that she was just unlikable, you know? She wasn't an abuser, but this person is so like overtly just like, yeah, I abused him, so what? So it's kind of like um it'll be easier to not support her for most people, I'd say, you know?
Oh, here's
But
another
yeah.
funny thing about the whole algorithm thing. People's videos have been using AB to represent that word because I'm sure there's, you know, some sort of demonetization or algorithm debuff for that. How are you gonna
Yeah.
stand on your feet and be able to like battle for the things you desire the most, which is controversial language and old humor from
Yeah.
back in the days, when it's also gonna affect your algorithm and make the experience even worse? Like, how are you gonna
No
fight for
idea.
the stuff that you want if you're gonna go
I don't
downhill
know.
so quickly?
PewDiePie does it. There you go. There's enough room, you know. That's one thing I don't understand though. It's like why is the algorithm skewed against stuff like saying Corona or Amber Heard or like stuff that's political right now? Like I don't.
It's
Isn't
abuser. I don't think it's Amber.
oh abuser. Well, it's just strange to me because it's like these things are things that are widely broadcasted in the news. So why is stuff like YouTube demonetizing these things? It's not that I'm particularly offended by it because it doesn't affect me. I'm just more intrigued. You know, I'm very like I don't understand. You know why it matters. You know, like what is it specifically about these topics that is demonetization worthy? It's like, are we supposed to pretend like that we are not in a pandemic? Are we supposed to pretend like this stuff is not happening? It's like maybe you can make some leeway for abuser because you can be like, oh, we don't really know the facts, you know, there's no super concrete evidence, you know, we weren't there. So maybe it's unfair to like hate monger like that. But like COVID and stuff, people get demonetized for that, and that's just something that's happening, you know.
um,
That's just the world
it's like
right now.
there's a few different ways to start it. Like we can compare the whole free speech or free something equals chaos and any sort of control is a form of, what control is. But I think
Yeah.
they do it similar ways that scalping happens because
Scalping, like when you buy stuff and sell it for a higher
like
price.
that's stuff that it's like technically something that anyone can do, right? It's like it's not really illegal, but it is because of how destructive it is. And then on that front, let's say COVID comes out, and then there's a bunch of people with stupid information,
COVID 2 comes out.
uneducated people spreading misinformation about this real life important thing, and it's such a
Mm,
hot take that it's so easy to like take advantage of. Sure, they can do that. Sure, it's happening. Sure, this is not a thing you should be censoring. But with what people do
yeah.
with it, it's so destructive to the overall image that you have to like shut them the fuck down because they're just making it worse. Like imagine
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
There's
So it's not that the reasoning is wrong; it's the methodology, like always with YouTube. Because the fucking people working at YouTube's are pigeons with fucking thumbtacks stapled to them. Okay. No, I mean that makes a little bit more sense. It's just about not wanting to spread misinformation, but they're so fucking stupid they don't know how to do it without censoring everybody.
yeah,
So that's what you're
that's
saying,
what I
right?
heard
Yeah.
for COVID specifically. I haven't really looked into the other ones and for
I don't.
specifics.
Yeah. I don't understand why these CEOs don't get bullied to the point where they step down. Out of all the things that we have mobs for,
Hmm.
it's like, oh my god, this person said a swear, everybody lynch him, it's like that PC culture. Why don't we have that for people who are actually doing a bad job,
Like I always assumed it was we can't even understand what's going on. Like there's a lot of people that go, "Oh, if I were in this position, I could do it better. If I were into the system, I could change it because it's so obvious what the problem is." And then you get into the system and
Yeah.
then you fall into the same problems everyone else has because apparently it's just more complicated and we're just judging from the inside outside from the outside without knowing what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
there's some levels where it's not, but it's so more often that we just don't know what the fuck's going on and thus can't judge correctly that that's my default. Like there's a fucking non-profit website that was my favorite drawing site, and everyone was like, they're so
Hmm.
fucking lazy, they can't, they're just trying to monetize or something when they're a non-profit site who just takes donations to keep up this dinky little the server that's only for
Yeah.
fun. And their idea is that they won't even monetize anything because they can't their servers are so unstable that they can't
Yeah. Yeah.
reassure any products. They can't sell
Yeah.
anything because they can't guarantee the product's going to be there. And then it's like, well, erasing one undo button is such an easy program. I could do it in one code line, but that doesn't work when the code is layered in such a way where it's a continuation of one line. Like everything you put on a canvas is one line. So if you undo one line, you're going to do your entire canvas. And that's because this entire thing was made in
Yeah.
fucking Flash. But programmers who know a little bit of programming go, oh no, this is so stupid, and you're stupid, and you should be fired, and I should take over the site because I know how to code, and you're not even doing one simple line of code. And then, they just don't.
Yeah.
And it's just everyone, once again, assuming off the
Sure.
gate, not giving them the benefit of the doubt, and also like not taking the time to understand the situation and just assuming everyone's dumb and stupid and wrong.
I can agree with that on small scales, right? But like with something like YouTube, it's like these motherfuckers have been messing up for years at this point, and you gotta wonder how long does it really take to fix something like this, especially if there's people going around being like, this is so easy to fix. It's one thing if you have a tiny developer team and you're like, man, this is so difficult to fix. We don't have the funds. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just doing this for fun. Blah 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 blah. All those things you just said, right? And then you're like, ah, crap. We're sorry. This is it's more complicated than you think. But when you're a multi-billion corporation with who instead of choosing to fix any of their issues just chooses to censor the people complaining, I kind of wonder, like, if you if why aren't we lynching them? Why aren't we dragging them out onto the streets and beating them with reeds? because that's what we should be doing. Because it's been years now. This is not a small issue that arose because I'm kind of upset right now. This is things that have been around for years and years and years. People have been asking for things to change with YouTube, and instead of anything changing, they just become more and more out of touch with their core audience, and they're just like, oh hey, let's remove the dislike button because that's what people wanted, right? There's too much negativity. You know where the negativity was aimed at? It was aimed at them. It was aimed at the people in charge because they're doing a bad job. They're like, we don't want everybody to see what kind of a bad job we're doing. I mean, it makes sense. Imagine you're an advertiser, who's like, should we advertise Pepsi on YouTube? Let's check out YouTube's YouTube channel. Oh hey, everything has like 90% dislike, and like 10% likes. Maybe let's go somewhere else. I mean, it makes sense, and then it just boils down to greed. So, like Susan Wojcicki, I don't, maybe you're not in charge of this stuff. Maybe you're not the person at fault here, but you are the figurehead. So, sorry, you must go. The tribe has spoken. If anybody's getting their freaking French king decapitated treatment, then it's you. you know, that's the way it is. Quit your job or be better.
I don't know. Like, there's the government websites in America are like they all look from the 90s. And there's
Oh
almost
yeah,
a red tape reason for that. And the amount of tears that you would have to go through. So many programmers have go in and go like, I'm going to finally make a beautiful government website. They come in and get their
yeah.
dreams dashed because of the amount of red tape they have to go through. And then imagine like they're having to fight that at a higher level where up there at the top everyone likes knocking down towers being built. Like imagine investing how many thousands of dollars into something and then halfway through the project it gets shut down through one voting system where one side had more power than the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what kind of red tape is inside YouTube and what they can or can't do because of all the different interconnected people doing it, but it must be so complicated and so many different ideas of how to do the same thing.
see, this feeds into my political view, which is that all these people are fucking pansies and they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Like, I get it. I mean, we've encountered issues like that before. We're freaking storytellers. We make our own systems and it gets really complicated. And then we're like, should we change this? And we run into our own red tape that we set up. And you know what the advice is for artists? It's kill it, kill your babies, destroy it, and build it back up. Because sometimes that's the only option. It's like, why work around all this spidery web stuff? You were motivated, you have great ideas for how to improve a government system, a website, this and or that, blah blah blah. You know exactly how you can improve it. You know exactly what you want to do, you know? And instead of freaking doing it, you can't because you're so boggled down by like, oh, I can't, I have to tiptoe around this, I have to tiptoe around that, and then obviously you lose all your motivation because the doy, you can't do anything that you set out to do. So why bother with this crap? Why not just destroy it and make something better? Like, why do these old government websites have to be up, back up the data, destroy it, make a better website, and then put the data back in? And yeah, it's like, oh my god, that's so difficult. It's like, yeah, but there's what else do you want to do? Do you want to sit there and then just have this like dinky 1946 Macintosh freaking website so that everybody has to wait 3.5 months for something to be processed, while reading through like the terms and conditions that were written 14 years ago? It's like, it's not good. It doesn't work. If you want to be efficient, you have to destroy the inefficient model.
That's kind of like trying to renovate a house while you're still living in it kind of
Yeah,
scenario.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Just destroy that house.
Yeah, and then you
Get a
have nowhere
hotel
to
room.
live for a while.
Yeah,
But
well, you
like
just
and it just makes it difficult because sure we can destroy our things because we're not standing on them right now. Oh, back to disappoint says back to YouTube not being able to fix themselves. Let's say someone has 3 seconds of something in a 20-minute video that makes it get demonetized. Well, yeah, that's our
yeah.
situation right now. Like, if we think Keck said now, just wait till he realizes that's gonna be even harder because we keep getting demonetized or our videos taken down or something because of a word that is now blacklisted, but there's no official list
Yeah, and
anywhere.
yep, there we go. There's no official list.
Well, but YouTube has this cool video edit thing on the site. Why not give the creators a notification and give them a chance to remove the part that has the problem? Yeah, that is a huge complaint that a ton of people
Look, I
have.
haven't been even streaming on Twitch anymore. I guess the chat must have died. I mean, the thing must have died when I
Connection issues.
when the connection issues. Let me restart it. Let me call it something like what's something cynical and angry that I can call it?
I fart not.
I fart.
Forsooth thou farting. I fight. I fart.
Romeo, oh Romeo, where fart art thee?
That's a good one. Shit, I want. We should save that one for Valentine's next year.
It's fine. I'll use it now. But it's not like anybody's gonna watch this or remember. So, Romeo, oh Romeo, where fart are thee? Yeah, and another thing about YouTube that is insanely annoying is the copyright system. You know, it's like with like the most annoying thing is the music industry. Like people who make oh wait, sorry. Oh, welcome to my stream. All right, intro done. Uh, the most annoying thing is people who work in the music industry on YouTube. Like people will do like everyone who works on the music industry on YouTube is a piece of fucking dirt, you know? Because you can't hum songs, you can't sing songs, you can't even do anything with songs before they're like, oh, you sang 15 seconds of lyrics without any music in your video. Well, that video's entire money earning capacity is now the ownership of Vivo Music or whatever the fart, you know?
Oh, there's a funny thing that I heard about that where some other song was suing someone else because of a very generic beat that it had in it. And
Yeah,
it was so generic that, they were trying to fight it in court where, this is such a generic beat that a ton of songs have. Like, there's no way you can copyright this thing that's going to be used by
yeah,
tons of people. And there's a video that fought on their side because it was a completely ridiculous claim and it shouldn't win. But it ended up winning. But the hilarious part about it was that
yeah.
the company that he was defending copyrighted his video for a
Yeah.
clip of the song,
Okay.
and the only clip
Yeah.
he had in the video was that drum beat or that beat that shouldn't be copyrighted, but it wasn't even from their song. It was from the song that was suing them for copyright.
Oh my
And
god.
then to
See
make
how
it
it is?
even
Yeah.
better is that this wasn't a robot thing. This was manually
Oh
someone
my god.
someone manually copyright struck this video.
You see this? You see how stupid the music industry is? Like they are I cannot be convinced that they are not the greediest, disgusting, slimy motherfuckers on this earth, you know? Because they just fucking like who thinks that they're entitled to like an entire video's worth just because there's like a tiny clip, you know? Like I get it if they play the full song, you know, then it's kind of like you can make the argument that they're doing it to sneaky bypass like giving them money, you know, and to post the song for free. But if it's just a clip and they're clearly talking about anything else and they're just like, oh wow, well, you know, you had a 15-second clip of our music in your 3-hour video essay, you know, therefore, you know, you must be doing it so that other people can listen to our music for free. We're copywriting them revenue because everybody here is definitely here for that 3-second clip of music. YouTube isn't doing anything to change that, probably because they are getting paid out the wazoo. Susan Wojcicki, go rot in hell, you son of a bitch. Uh, and it's like this is so easy to fix, you know. One, have some fucking integrity and some backbone, and don't let yourself be fucking like coaxed by these people and their crazy amounts of money. And B, make it so that they can't claim videos like that,
Copyright
you
is
know.
so funny because I know Disney is crazy now, and regardless of all the weird things
Yeah,
Disney's done back in the day, Disney did get one of his characters stolen, and then they went
yeah,
crazy with copyright, and there's also
But they
Oh,
go
what was
crazy
it?
in the worst way. It's like, hey, I love Disney so much. Let me do some Disney content. Disney's like, fuck you.
Yeah, yeah, but it's just interesting how it. I wasn't like it's interesting how it manifests itself. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Not that
Oh yeah.
it's still the
For
cover art is
sure.
still really funny and weird.
Yeah.
Because there was OBS too, OBS versus slobs. Like everyone thought that slobs was an extension of OBS in a way, but it's actually an entirely
Mm.
different thing that took a lot of OBS, which is a free software. It's freeware basically. And then they took
Yeah.
OBS and then they added a bunch of like convenient slice of not slice of life ease of life
Slice of life.
ease of life
Miss
features.
Kobayashi.
Eat my
Toru. Toru.
Yeah, they just
uh,
added a bunch of integration stuff, and then they had the name OBS, and then everyone was like, "Oh, this is obviously part of OBS, which is this fantastic, great software. I should try it out because of this
yeah.
integrity." And then because they were freeware, it was like this weird thing where they could ask slobs, "Can you please not use the name? Like we worked hard, I guess."
Yeah.
But technically it wasn't since it was freeware, there was nothing stopping it, really.
Well, did they copyright the name OBS? Because that's the
They did
issue,
it
right?
I think they tried afterwards
Well,
because
that's stupid. That seems like a lack of foresight, you know? Of
well,
course, the people who took advantage of it aren't good people, but it's still like you gotta foresee that people are gonna be evil, you
that's
know, especially
the
like when you're
that's
putting a
the
product out there.
counterpoint, but freeware is such an integral part of like how things are working. It's kind of like imagine if we were an art, we're artists, but we can't look up references on Google. That's kind of what to me
You
freeware
mean how I
is.
was an artist before?
Yeah, yeah, and like so I can it's weird because sure they weren't supposed to do that, but also freeware is such its own thing and anyone that touches it just, you have to depend on the people to defend you because that's all you have because you're not protected by
Yeah.
anything. And yeah,
But
it's that
there
kind of
has to be a balance, right?
integrity.
Between like striking everybody down and just being and doing it as a self-defense,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not bringing this up as a counterpoint. I'm
Oh,
doing
no,
this as
okay.
a fucking interesting. Well, that's why I keep using the word
Interesting
interesting.
tidbit.
As a
Yeah. What I hear is, I am the overlord, bow down to me. And I'm
you
like, never!
filter out
And
all the
then like,
words and go, she's attacking my point. So here's
I'm
the
sorry, that's such a
weaknesses and lack of copyright, and the strength in
it's
copyright
my
is you don't get someone piggybacking off of your dang company thinking you're
yeah.
affiliated with them.
Well, for me, I guess it's like a reflex, you know? Like, I came
Yeah,
from a
I know
place where
you have
every time you like,
you talk with shitty people,
yeah,
and also they get all pissy, and then now you're pissy, and then yeah, great.
yeah, that's right, boss. You got it. You're so smart. You're so wise. It is interesting. Um, but yeah, these big corporations are annoying. That's why Elon Musk is kind of funny. It's funny because he supports Amber Heard, but it's also funny because he does so many business decisions. Like, didn't he just buy Twitter? And he's like, I'm gonna put an end to like this annoying Twitter crap or something. He wanted to do something with it, you know.
uh,
He's definitely. Oh yeah, didn't he fire like the person that's in charge of like censorship on Twitter or something like that? He did
yeah, we're
something
gonna
funny like that.
see. If he gets his way, we're now gonna see the world that is free speech equals chaos. And
Yeah.
so maybe there will be more people will talk more about politics and controversial things on Twitter, but also we're gonna see a lot of like abuse of the
Hate.
system.
Oh yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
who knows if what the experience will be like, because free speech is nice and all, but if it affects just being able to browse anything, like what
Yeah.
will that even be worth it? Who knows, you know
Yeah,
remains
yeah.
to be seen.
It's funny. Well, I mean, I don't really care about Twitter, so it affects me little. But
Yeah.
what Elon Musk is doing is still nicer than what these huge corporations are doing. You know, like they're all acting on their own greed, and it sucks because they're not being run by the people who started the companies, right? Like Disney, any music industry, and all of those. Those weren't started by businessmen; they were started by creatives. You know,
Yeah.
Walt Disney was a creative person. Bill, is it Bill Gates? Was he the guy who made Apple?
I don't know.
Whoever the fark made Apple, he's a creative person. All of these people did it out of passion and creativity, and now they're so fucked because now they're dead and their fucking companies are being run by goose monkeys who just
Goose
want their profit, you know?
monkeys.
And that's all they're out for. Is like, I want
Yes.
money, 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 you know. And it creates a terrible product. It creates a terrible discourse between management and consumer, which you should never have. Like when the consumer starts getting pissed at the people who are like like the suits behind the operation, that's when you know you really done did fucked up, you know.
Mm.
And it's like, Elon is the funny antithesis to that, because what he's doing is incredibly helpful and incredibly dangerous, because he's going the dictator route. He
Mm.
essentially is saying that everything rolls as long as it rolls with me, and I am now supremely in charge of what rolls, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't really be as worried if I also didn't think that he is, at least to a certain extent, a fucking maniac.
Mm.
You know, like I am almost 100% convinced that he would he I don't think he would shy away from murder and such and
Uh-huh.
such.
Twitter
You know?
says Twitter system was already abused. If Twitter didn't agree with you, you get censored. Yeah, it's, the abuse I'm thinking of is like the prevalence of an actual cult. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm more imagining. Dystopian anime style. We have things that get really trendy and look like it's mainstream when it's not. Because how many things start up as memes? Like all the stuff that is now
Mhm.
serious because people took it seriously because they saw the joke somewhere and they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And then, that's
Yeah.
convincing. I'm compelled. And then like I know that Twitter is fucking biased as hell, but some sort of guideline to is the it has some slight degree of merit in the the misinformation factor, because you know the problem with that is just what is misinformation is always subjective. But man, if an
Yeah.
actual cult forms and they're the most trending thing on Twitter, and then people are like, "Oh, this is the new truth," and it was a fucking joke cult Twitter account, but now everyone's taking it serious. It's Tide Pod and all the other ones all over again, all in one bundle. Cult.
That is the danger, and I get what Disappoint is saying with, like, it was already bad before. But I think this is the lesser of two evils, is how I describe it. You know, Elon Musk is the lesser of two evils. May he one day become a crazy dictator who attempts to kill us all with
It
drones? It is possible that he will,
is
but when
possible.
that day comes, you know, he will be the lesser of two evils. You know, he won't be the guy who he, he at least won't censor you. He might blow you to bits, but he won't censor you. No, he'll be like, "Oh, that's your opinion. Good. Now I know where my enemies are." He sends one of those mini drones to come blow you the hell up. Oh, look, I got somebody talking in my chat. Didn't even notice. Toothpaste addict, greetings, my not so loyal subjects. What the hell are you saying to me? The hell did you just say to me? Uh,
Banned.
yeah, banned. Smack down the ban hammer. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, this could be somebody we know or somebody we don't know. What indication is there truly? You know. Let's see if this person follows me. I don't know. Well, anyways, yeah, Elon Musk is definitely the lesser of two evils. Uh he oh, look, they followed me. As an apology. It's all right. We can. You don't know our dynamic yet. We'll establish it over time.
Heckaboy complains but no viewers, says disappointed. Also,
Uh,
Heckaboy doesn't pay attention to his viewers. Boy.
yeah, that's shush now, you two. I like that this is the moment where where people start to show up. Um, I'm fine, thank you very much. We're talking about Elon Musk and
Elongated
how he's
musket.
he. I mean, how old is Elon? He's like 40 or something, right?
Dementia is gonna come in a few decades.
No, my point is that like even if when I turn 40, he'll only be 60. So he'll definitely still be in a position of power by that point, you know? So I have to fear Elon Musk. I have to if I have to bend the knee, it'll have to be for Elon Musk. Didn't somebody make this scary animation of like, oh, theoretically you could have really small drones and then those drones could just target you and if you just have two of them, one can blow up your window and the other one can latch to your face and blow you up. And it's like, Elon definitely. I mean, he's already selling flamethrowers and crap like that. There's no way he doesn't have mini murder C4 drones. You know, I'm just saying, if I have to bend the knee, I'd rather bend the knee to Elon Musk than bend the knee to freaking like Susan Wojcicki or whatever the fart, or Disney. There's no way I'm ever bending the knee to Disney with their crap like business practices. Which is funny because they made Encanto recently, and I told you to watch it and you didn't. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's because I'm not buying
It's because
anything.
you hate me. And even though I offered to get you an account and I offered to lend you my account, I offered to give you a way to watch it. Your response was, "Oh no, I'm Marsh. I hate my life." Disney's a hit or miss recently. No, they aren't. Disney is a banger with Encanto. I don't
That's the
blame you if
hit,
you
and
haven't
then
seen
the miss
Encanto.
is the one that's all the live action ones.
Oh, I guess that's true.
What's with
Uh,
you to say this is the thing? Like, oh
well, look, I
God,
judge,
you're not
I
saying
judge,
anything related to me, and then
I
well,
judge
looks.
violently first, and then and then I try to think about what people might be saying. Um, okay, let's talk. I'll talk about Encanto real quick, which is their second most recent movie, and then I'll talk about Turning Red, which is their most recent movie,
Sure,
and I'll summarize it for you because you haven't seen it, right?
sure.
So Encanto is this, Encanto. You must have seen some clips on
Nope.
YouTube, right?
I draw and stare at walls.
Well, do you know Lin Manuel Miranda?
Nope.
Uh, the guy who made Hamilton. Have you seen Hamilton?
Nope.
You uncultured swine. Oh, Jakey the Trash Can. I do remember Jakey the Trash Can because Jakey had a trash name. I was like, yeah. Hey, Jakey, welcome back. Okay, you know what? All that stuff I was complaining about on YouTube, don't go listen to that. That's no longer relevant.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, and Encanto is great because it's about family trauma, right? And Lin Manuel Miranda is this Hispanic dude, or maybe he's not Hispanic. I don't know what race he is. Don't quote me on this. He's freaking. He exists and he is a minority. That's all you have to know about him, right? And he takes his minority status pretty seriously, unlike me, who just pretends to be white. you know
Uh-huh.
um, and he makes great stuff. You know all that stuff we were talking about earlier with like, oh, there's no real representation. Well, he actually makes a huge effort to give real representation of minorities and other races in his works, right? And he's a great songwriter, and he's just a overall swell guy, you know. And what he did was he wrote such good songs for Encanto that they gave him a writing credit for the movie because it was so good, right?
Uh-huh.
And the nice thing is that and what's it? The movie was a huge hit because it really dives into like the Colombian culture and like stuff like generational trauma, and it's all resolved super nicely, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's not Disney's freaking like merit. That's freaking Lin Manuel Miranda's merit and the writers who put in all the effort. Like once again, it's the creative saving Disney, not the freaking corporate execs. The corporate execs are responsible for stuff like Star Wars, and we all know how much people love that, right? They're like, oh my god, we need more diversity. Let's marry Sue, a character in here, so that They can be better at everything, not just better than the male characters, but better than every character, because we all love a heroine who never struggles once. Once again, how can you have your main character defeat their main villain in the first movie and then expect there to be tension thereafter? As like in the first movie, she defeats Kylo Ren, having received no training whatsoever, and it's like, why am I supposed to be invested in the next few movies? You've shown me that the main hero is stronger and better and wins, and then you could make the argument, well, Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star. Yeah, but Luke Skywalker did not one-on-one solo Darth Vader in the first movie and then just leave him there and be like, hey, yo, and then just bust off. That's not what happened. Luke failed. Even in the second movie, he failed super hard against Vader. And I was getting so angry, I almost slipped into German there. Gonna say gegen, which is against in German. But yeah, that's not what freaking happened. Uh, so don't even begin to make that freaking argument. And anyways, creatives are good. They made freaking Encanto, and the nice thing about Encanto is they really understand why what is important about generational trauma. Like they have this lady Abuela, who's like the main villain, so to say, but she's only the main villain because she herself is unaware of how unhealthy she's being in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the best part is when she realizes how unhealthy she's being and then how mean she's been treating her family and how much pressure she's been putting on everybody, she actually apologizes. And that gave me so much catharsis because you're never going to get that apology from real life figures in your life, like family members who mistreat you and don't want to admit they're wrong. It's like none of them are going to have this realization moment where they're like, oh my God, what I've been doing this entire time is bad. Let me actually apologize, and make everything okay again and try and change my ways. Like how many times can you imagine that happening with like your parents, for example, or mine or anybody's? It's a beautiful blend of fantasy and reality because it's what we all want to have happen, and because we can't all have it, that's what we get on the screen. We get
Yeah,
this
only the
full and
lucky
complete story.
few.
Yeah. And Turning Red is a movie
Is a
that
movie.
was made after
It was
Encanto.
a movie.
Well, the thing about Turning Red is it got overhyped for me. You know, people said it was the next Encanto, and it definitely was not.
Maybe you should just stop
Uh,
listening to people's like opinions on media.
well, the thing is, people are like, "Oh, you don't like it because of the animation or because it's an allergy for puberty." It's like, no, I don't like it because I don't think the storyline was very well done. You know. So it's about this. It has the most disappointing thing is that it has all the promise of Encanto, and it has all the cultural references to the same degree as Encanto, or at least to a degree where it's comparable, definitely.
Yep.
So it's about this girl who turns into a big red panda every time she gets mad, and she's obviously being brought up in this Asian household where um everything's super strict and you have to honor your parents because like freaking your parents gave birth to you and that's what the kids are taught. It's like honor your parents because they're your life givers. And it delves into why that is toxic, and why that's not maybe a good mentality to have because freaking you're devoting your life in service to somebody else. That's never a good thing, you fucking idiot. I really have to spell it out for you. And they go into why that's unhealthy, but the resolution is so lackluster, you know? Like they have so many plot threads they set up, like this girl, to calm down from being like a giant red panda, she thinks of her friends, because her friends are the people she really feels close to, not her family. And then they bring it up like it's going to be a point of conflict, and it would be an amazing point of conflict because then the mother might finally see, who is the antagonist by the way, might
Yeah.
finally see, oh, maybe I'm treating my child wrong because they don't even see comfort in family. They see comfort with like complete strangers who they see to them are more close and more comforting than home. But no, they just abandon that complete plot thread and then they just leave it. I'm like, okay, fine, maybe we didn't need that. What else do we got? And then there's this huge conflict at the end, and the mother is like, "Oh, well, oh, I'm just as misunderstood," but it's not done nearly as well as in Kanto. You don't really feel for the mother. At least I didn't. I'm like, "Oh no, you also got treated this way by your parents? That's crazy," you know. It's like I wonder
Wow.
if you'll, yeah, I wonder if you'll learn from your mistakes or treat your daughter the exact same way. Wow, cool, huh? You know. And it's like, yeah, it's more realistic for her to not change her way, but then just make the villain the grandmother and demonstrate it to be generational trauma a little bit better. And at least have the mother apologize. The mother didn't ever apologize, and that's what kind of draws a lot of the conclusion away from me. You know,
Mm.
it makes it so much less personal because there's no reflection. There's recognition, but it's so half-assed, you know? It's like the mother is slightly less strict in the end or something like that, you know. And it's like, wow, congratulations, you really showed how this trauma has been healed. And Kanto went out of its way to be like, I am so sorry, I was all my mistake, you know, I did this, I broke our family. And then you're like, no, it's okay, you suffered as well, you know. And it feels like it's so much more justifiable. For this one, it's just like, oh, my mother was mean to me as well in the same way I was mean to you. Anyways, I'm not apologizing, here's this resolution, the end. You know. And then there's this like whole plot thread they have about accepting who you are and how turning into a giant panda is not necessarily a bad thing. And they never spell it out either. They never say it. It's like there is a certain degree of like show don't tell that they're trying to emulate, but they did not show enough, you know. And that part where they didn't show enough, you could have had them tell it, because that's what they did in freaking Encanto, right? They had to show the tragic backstory of the grandmother, and then tell where she apologizes profusely, you know, and she accepts blame and guilt for what has happened, and then they just don't have the same thing, and it just hits harder to home because I'm
Bleep.
fucking half Asian, right? Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's rush hour outside or something, but I'm Asian, right? So I know this culture stuff. I've seen it firsthand. Obviously, it's not as extreme for me because I grew up like half white, but I've still seen it, you know? So it hits harder. I want to see the resolution more than I wanted to see the resolution for Encanto, because they're all Colombian and they have different traditions and stuff. I don't relate to that as much, you know? And this was supposed to be the Asian Encanto. People were saying, "Oh my God, this is the Asian Encanto. It's just as good." It's not. It's not. It's not even half as good. Encanto is such a well-rounded, perfect. I would almost say it's the near perfect story, you know. And you can't just spit in Encanto's face like that and compare something else to be similar when it's not. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like degrees of similar. To this person who doesn't care about the nuances, it's similar to them, to
Yeah,
where they can
sure.
put it in the same basket. But
No,
to the people who are very good at like story comprehension, it's like how you wouldn't have been able to tell about Sherlock Holmes unless someone told you.
yeah. That's true. I guess that's true. I guess it's just because the person who was saying it was Asian, and they were doing like a little TikTok. You know how I like those, where they're like, "Oh my god, this is so emotional." It's like it's one of those where the joke is like, "Oh, I'm not gonna cry at this movie because like it can't be as bad," and then they're like, "As bad as Encanto," and it's like, "Oh my god, it's just as bad. It hits the home so blah 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 blah." Blah." It's like, no, it doesn't. You lying piece of trash. Suffer in hell for a million years for getting my hopes up. I would have enjoyed the movie more if they didn't get my hopes up, you know. But I came in it with like a high palate tongue, you know. It's like I'm expecting a McChicken at McDonald's, and you give me a Mc fucking, I don't know
McFuck
what's worse than
yourself.
Mc. Yeah, McFuck yourself. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I go to McDonald's. I'm expecting a frosty with Smarties in it, and you give me a frosty with Maltesers. What the hell are you thinking? Just kidding. I love frosty so much.
Yeah, you've
I
been
I
crazed
love
lately.
frosty so much. I had another frosty
Uh-huh.
after the book signing today. It's such a blur because you're on. At least I was on so much adrenaline when I was talking to the guy because I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool, you know.
Right.
So I kind of like I blacked out and I woke up and then McDonald's holding a frosty. I was like, oh,
The fairies
how did I
again.
get here? Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Oh, there was there's this extremely white guy who's pretty smart, goes to Beijing for a year and learns Chinese so good that he was on a talk show host back in the day, and then he just kept it up by opening, a YouTube account and continuing to
Yeah, yeah.
speak really good Chinese for being a white kid.
Oh, is it the guy I'm
Xiaoma.
thinking of?
And there was one time he was invited to a YouTube event where he got to see Jackie Chan, who idol, one of the first people that got him interested in the culture, and
Yeah, yeah.
he had a shirt printed like hand
Huh.
screened the
Ching
day
chong bing bong.
before with
Yeah.
the him Jackie Chan holding his head with the duck face, you know. This is
Uh-huh.
Xiaoma loves Jackie Chan, and he wanted him to sign it, and he also wanted to wow him with his, language skills.
Chinese.
But
Yeah.
what he did was he came, it was his turn after waiting for how many hours, and he just was like, oh, they took my phone. I can't record talking perfectly to Jackie Chan. And then he just got his
Yeah.
picture taken and walked away without even getting his signature. And he was like, I'm
Oh,
gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. And then he's like, no,
that's
I'm gonna
so
go back
sad.
in line. And then he goes back to the end of the line. And he's like the last people. He's maybe the last
Yeah.
person. And he says something and it impresses him enough that he does get his signed shirt, even though no one was supposed to get signed anything.
Yeah. That's so cute.
It's
I appreciate the guy's
a
dedication.
funny story
Although,
of
yeah. By
signing.
the way, hold on. I'm just gonna check. Is there anybody still viewing this stream? I think I might have alienated them all because I'm so calm when I'm without you, and when I'm with you, I'm yelling about movies. I
Just
think they might have
yelling
all
in
bowed out.
general.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my follower count in a second.
Doesn't
And
matter.
the
Might as well
people.
just keep talking because it's the one
No,
you have
no,
to do
no,
anyway.
it doesn't matter. I just thought it was funny to point it out
Oh.
because they all like two people popped up and they I think they both left. But yeah, I just thought it was funny to point out. Oh yeah, that's. I think I know the guy you're talking about. I think I've seen some YouTube videos of his. See, it's funny when he does it because he's so white, nobody expects him to speak it. So no matter what degree of Chinese he speaks,
Yeah.
they accept it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of Asian looking. That means if I speak Chinese wrong, I don't get spoken to in Chinese anymore. At least in Ireland. I told you about this, right?
Yeah,
How
you did.
I go to the local store here, and I've given up on it since. But they all speak Chinese. I hear them speak Chinese. I speak the same Chinese. I try to speak Chinese to them. They start speaking English to me. I'm like, thanks, thanks.
But
You
she
know,
thinks it's
this
because your
is
accent is bad and you're saying pleasantries when
my
they don't like
accent.
pleasantries.
My accent is freaking Taiwanese. You know, which means we just don't overpronounce certain words. You know. Oh, Moon is here. Pew. But yeah, we just don't we don't in Taiwan we don't overpronounce our words. You know, I say overpronounce because to me it's overpronouncing when the freaking mainland Chinese do it. You know, instead of saying like 狮子 or something, they'll be like 狮子 or something. You know, and then I'm like, okay, a lot of extra effort for no reason, huh? You know. But I guess when I say it, you know, they they perceive it as like, oh, this guy doesn't really know how to speak Chinese. You know, it's like I do. I'm just speaking a different freaking accent from you, and then they just it definitely feels like they're looking down. You know, because all I really want is a friendly chat. They'll have friendly chats with me in English, but not in Chinese. And the most frustrating thing is when I've spoken to them in Chinese before and I try to do it again and they just keep insisting. There's this one old Chinese guy who runs a store around here and I love his products. But every time I see him, I get a little bit pissed because I remember all the times I spoke to him directly to his face in Chinese and he answered me in English. It's like, motherfucker, we've had conversations in Chinese before. Why are you speaking English to me? You know? Uh,
Have you ever called them on the phone, speak in Chinese, and then come in person?
no, it's not that kind of store
Oh, it'd be
where we
funny
speak on the
if you
That would
could.
be pretty fun.
It's like, aha, I got you.
It's
No, wait, you're on the phone as you're going into the store, and so you
yeah.
look them in the eye as you're talking to them.
Gotcha, bitch. Yeah.
Like, it really makes me wonder because there's a lot of situations where it turns out it's something really stupid and small and could be easily resolved. But if this was one of the cases where it's not that, I really wonder like what it is in specific.
I, well, it's no secret that mainland Chinese culture is very looky downy upon. Like, the resident monkey that I live with, they worked in a hotel, like a high-end hotel for minimum wage or less than.
Yeah.
you know but it was still like a high-end hotel, so they had like international visitors, and she looks Chinese, and she speaks Chinese. So when she got like when there's a Chinese guest, she'll speak Chinese to them. And the moment they realize that she speaks Chinese, the attitude will switch from like, "Oh, hey, you're just a random person that we're talking to who's also like our wait staff," to like, "Fuck you, do exactly what we say because we are the boss of you," Because that's just the culture they have. It's like, we're older, respect your elders, which a certain movie like Turning Red could have touched upon, where then they chose to do nothing with the sword. They chose to do something completely different. Who cares about all these generations of trauma and really teaching the younger generation that this culture is kind of bullshit? And instead, let's just keep it all in subtext, because who needs an overt, open, encouraging message like Encanto when we can just fuck around and waste your potential? That's it's just when we look at the definition of potential, it says it's good enough.
It would be great if I could understand what the crap you were saying.
No, it's fine. It's nothing I haven't said before.
I'm sure.
uh, I don't know. It's just tiring. I'm pretty sure they just look down on my Chinese, and it's given me this sort of paranoia, which makes it's really unfortunate, I guess. Because even when I go to like Asian restaurants here, I'd love to order something in Chinese, but I just can't bring myself to, because I don't want to get freaking burnt like that, and it's just pointless. It makes me sad, and it's not like I'm gonna make a big scene being like, because I don't care that much, but I'm just less encouraged to speak Chinese. Except for this one old lady who had to sub in for the old guy at the Chinese store once. She was very, very friendly.
That's cute.
Like, because I didn't speak Chinese to her, but she overheard me speaking in Chinese, and then she started speaking in Chinese. I was like, I feel very vindicated. Uh, and I felt she was very nice. I wonder if it was the guy's wife. If it was, I hope she fucking beats him when he gets home. Amber Heard style. Uh, but yeah. You got any experiences like that, you Filipino mother trucker?
No, I had a very wonderful and supportive childhood from strangers and close relatives. Because the people who experienced it firsthand were like, "That shit sucks," and we agree from two different households that both migrated here, migrated like the birds, like
Yeah.
they
Going south for this winter.
they both agreed. They simultaneously agreed, like, "Wow, this is a horrible way to grow up. So we're not gonna do it to our kids. Instead, we're doing emotional trauma." That's
Yay.
completely not dependent on heritage. It is just something people do to their kids.
It's something different and equally bad, but different.
Yeah, and so no, and then I got a bunch of people who were like, "Wow, your skin tone is so nice. It's got this olive tint." Other people who are just like, "Wow, I like that shade of brown," and they're also brown, and
Yeah, yeah,
and then other
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people like, "Oh, there's so many different types of brown. There's this kind of brown, and the little green brown, and the little kind of tan brown, and
I can promise you, no matter what color you are, I will dislike you with like vicious levels
and
of
even
hatred and
Like a bunch of people
Yeah.
would come up to me like, "Oh, what kind of Asian are you?" Because I lived in one other particular part of Asia for how many years, and it was beautiful, and it was just encouraging all around. Like the most random strangers that ever talked to me wanted to talk to me about like how appreciating heritage and stuff. Probably because
That's
of
so
the
nice.
association. Yeah, as much as people want to shit on America for not for like trying to dissuade racism, it has its trickles in the areas where it works. The problem is that there's
Yeah.
such a disparity of difference. This town was beautiful and everyone like supported and loved me, but then you go to the next town and all of a sudden you're a little darker than normal and you get shat on. The problem is the
Um,
disparity is so intense. It is such a huge contrast.
yeah. I get what you're saying. Oh, at least you still had that like positive reinforcement experience, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
lived in the good town, and then the
yeah.
town that was had maybe how much less money than this town was the really shitty one.
Well, yeah.
Money,
The
money.
the the small town vibes can either be good or bad. You always hear about like southern manners, you know? The southern manners where the people have the southern slur
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, howdy, we don't judge the folks by the color of their skin here. You
The
know.
mon pa
And
shops that are really sweet and
yeah,
wholesome.
yeah, exactly. Or you have the get off my land or I'll shoot you kind of
Yeah,
southern.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
So really,
interesting
yeah, you're right.
variety.
There's a big variety. There's a big bag of candy you can choose from.
One of them actually
Uh,
has the razor blades.
yeah. One is a Reese's cup and the other one is a fucking grenade with the pin pulled out. Uh, my God. Well, that's nice that you at least had those experiences. You wanted me to tell you about mine experiences? Mine were, hey, Ching Chong, and hey, your name sounds kind of like seaweed, so we're gonna call you seaweed and nothing else. And also, you're Chinese. Haha, slit eyes.
Wow,
Yeah.
sounds unfortunate.
Oh yeah, because my eyes aren't even that close.
Oh
I have
no.
really big eyes for Asian.
Something I heard that was really sad from someone in the art community was that they would be like do drawing in class, and you know that trick where you squint your eyes to like why no, that wasn't even it. Oh no, no, that was just their eyes looked super squinty, so their teachers thought that they were sleeping. But no,
That's just funny.
that's just them.
Yeah. Oh wait, you mean they when they were squinting or when they just looked normally that the teachers
I was
would see?
mixing up two stories. One is where they're naturally squinting, and the other one is trying to like draw by squinting, and then and then the
The
unfortunate
teachers.
habit.
That actually reminds me. That actually might explain something that happened to me
Yeah.
when I was in school. I didn't have glasses for the longest time. I got my glasses, like prescription glasses, and I was too embarrassed to wear them at school.
Oh,
So I just went like a year without. Well, you know how my school was. They fucking
yeah.
mocked you for
They're
everything.
awful.
So I wasn't very super keen on wearing my new glasses in front of everybody. You know, so I didn't wear glasses for a year, and I would just lie through everything. When teachers asked me like why I wasn't taking notes, I'd just be like, "Oh, I took my own notes," like super fast, like an abbreviated version, and I would just fail through school.
Uh-huh.
And one teacher though had like no understanding for like any excuse I gave, and it was some fucking bitch English teacher. Me and English teachers, right?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
any? Yeah, but she was such a fucking whore because like I was clearly struggling to read, you know, like every time, and then she would always pick on me to like read in front of the class. It's like read this, what happened here, and then every time I couldn't do it, she would like fucking berate me in front of the class. It's like, oh my god, you just put like I can't believe like not like she wouldn't say anything. She would be like she'd do that thing, that thing you do with your tongue where you're like, ugh, you know, or something like that. And I was just a fucking kid, and I was like, I feel terrible because it's not my fault I can't fucking see. And obviously, she doesn't know that either, because if she did, she would have been fired even in this school. And it's like, well, she probably wouldn't have been fired. They'd probably make her apologize very woodenly, and then she'd just keep her fucking job, but I'd fire her,
Right.
Um, but like fucking this is like what I had to go through, and she just always picked on me like that. And now I'm thinking, did she think I was just squinting because I'm Asian? Did she not say anything because she's like, oh, that's just the way the guy looks. He's not squinting because he can't fucking see. He's squinting because he's a little ching chong boy. Oh boy, I have nothing but rage for people like that. The worst part is my friend has dyslexia, and he also had her as a teacher, and he always goes on about how supportive she was towards him. Maybe she's just overtly racist, you know? Because my friend, he's a little white boy, fucking whitey McWhite white. You know how they are, right, Borsch? White people. You're married to one, so you should know.
Well, it's funny. I picture a scenario where the teachers are wrong, but also the student looks like the type to give trouble, and so they, I did notice that in my school that if a kid was like wouldn't do any work in class or was disruptive, that they would be like eventually put on the spot. And
Yeah.
varying degrees of whether or not that's a good idea or not.
Maybe me being disruptive in class was me asking my friend for what was on the board because I couldn't see Mrs. Dunn. I can call her that because I think she changed her name. So if you change your name back, I'm glad you got divorced, you bitch. Fuck you. Like, honestly. Oh, wait, no, I think she got divorced, and that's why she changed her name. Ha! I'm glad your fucking marriage fell apart, you cunt. uh, but yeah, she was a motherfucker, and she was just all around tough. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, if I was a teacher and I looked at me, I might be like, oh, that's the disruptive one. But hey, no one fucking deign to give me a chance. It's a classic like street public school story of like, ain't nobody believing me, chief. you know, nobody believing me. I just want to learn how to read. And I can't, and no, and all the teachers are like, he's just lazy, he just hangs out and graffitis because he's a troublemaker, and I'm just like, I wish somebody could educate me.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
That's pretty much what my experience was like. So yeah, I could forgive these teachers, or I could remember their names, go back and hunt them down, and make sure that they never once again earn any money in the rest of their lives, and that they suffer, and then I kill them. I mean, honestly, if somebody said, hey, you can tie this person to a chair and you can beat them vigorously with your hand or whatever other object you may want for another 12 hours, and after that you both just leave, I would take them up on the offer. Hell, I'd pay any amount, to get that done. Because I think I just have to visit one of those smash rooms in Japan. You know the ones?
Yeah.
They set up a bunch of fake furniture, and they're like, all right, you have an hour to destroy as much as you want. Here's a sledgehammer. Or if you don't want that, here's some
If you
gloves.
don't want
So you
that.
get to tear it apart, by yourself. But they don't have anything like that anywhere outside of Japan. But oh boy, I would be a weekly visitor until I got all this rage out.
Yeah.
Do you like the rope, by the way? For some reason, the shading on the rope turned out so nice. Like everything else is kind of wiggly woogly, but the rope is fine.
Well, the contrast is very high for one. I mean, I don't think it needs to be that high. But also,
Yeah, well,
just,
why don't you eat
following
a
the
dick?
form probably helps.
Yeah,
Helps
I
its
think that's it.
readability.
Actually, oh, sorry, I told you to eat a dick. It's okay. You
Maybe
can
I
eat a
liked it.
you can eat a vagina or
uh,
a penis if you
a
like.
bean.
It doesn't have to be a dick.
But
uh, do you use a bidet, by the way?
we had this conversation going back to repeated conversations of people only having one thing to say. Yes, I don't have a bidet, but I have a water bottle squirt thingy or a cup.
I'm imagining like an energy drink besides the
Power
tomato.
water.
Oh yeah, we have these conversations before, but it's always slight variations, and also I'm exempt from the rules of the world, so
Uh-huh.
you know. And by proxy, you are too,
Oh
by
wow.
extension.
I'm so happy.
So you should be thankful to be blessed by my presence.
Of course. What
And also with my
the-
short-term memory, all of these are like new conversations. But yeah, bidets are great. Why does Europe hate bidets? Well, actually, not Europe. Why does America hate bidets? What's wrong with y'all? Walking around with your crusted buttholes. Come
People are
on.
just stuck in their ways, and then
Yeah, stuck in shit as
they
well.
think
What the
like
hell?
I think it's just this reticence to people telling you do things wrong. Like if I think it would be easier receptive if there wasn't already this assumption that even if they were doing something right, no one would acknowledge it. So now there's just this hard pressed reticence to any sort of like feedback.
What is reticent? What does that mean?
They sort of
How come you
yeah.
know
It's
more
like
words
you
than
when I
me?
talk about social media and algorithms, or
Yeah.
Twitch. It's there's the reticence.
That doesn't explain to me what that it
Uh,
means.
well, here, not very con c words, so I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm not very smart either, so you gotta dumb it down for me.
inhibition, reserve, a little reluctant, really reluctant.
Reluctance.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Alright, keep going.
That I did I finish? I thought.
Oh, you just said. Oh, I thought you were gonna add something. You just
Oh, it's
said.
just that the association is so strong that I think even if they were to get, the people who are on guard already, if they were to get
Yeah.
actual feedback, they're just gonna say, "Well, you're just shitting on me for the sake of shitting on me, and you're not actually giving me something
Oh,
good."
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to help these people to not walk around with butt crusted in shit. You know.
Yeah, but you're in the sea
It's
of other people who just shames them for liking food that they like or living in a certain way that they can manage. And if
okay.
anything,
Well,
they
how
don't
about
do
this?
everything they do is bad because they are in this country that has sucky stuff and they're
How
not
about
used
this?
to the
Listen to my word
community
like
where
gospel, and don't listen to anybody else's word.
and they're not used to this world where everyone does that to say hello and it's accepted.
At you. Look, this world would go a lot smoother if I was supreme dictator.
hmm
That's all I'm saying. Oh, totally not Shokobo. Bless, saying bless you. How long have you been lurking, you son of a gun? What have you learned? How long have you been here?
What do you know? Tell
What do you
me,
know?
who sent you?
uh, just on like 10 seconds ago. Oh, you're just in time. This is a different stream, I'll warn you. I'm not my calm and relaxed self. It's because when I stream with Martian Tire, she gets me very, very angry. And there's something about lo-fi music that calms me down. But when I'm with Martian Tire, there's only rage and anger and despair. So this is a slightly different stream. Tomorrow I'll stream nicer because tomorrow I'm going to harass a different streamer who has no idea that I exist right now. But when I harass them, it'll be really funny. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, are you
Um,
gonna be streaming them
yeah,
streaming?
of course I'm going to be
You're
streaming.
not going
Yeah.
to sleep that night. He does it at the
Well, I've
end, and
accepted. It's
at that
okay.
point, it's like 5 hours after you go to sleep.
It's fine. I mean, you're gonna watch them, right?
Of course. Well, I'm gonna watch the
Yeah. So,
VOD if I sleep.
oh, okay, fine. Well, okay. Well, what if I can't get his reaction? I can at least get the Discord chat's reaction. Let me fill you in. Totally not Shoko B.
You won't
Let me just shorten that.
look.
No,
You
no, no.
get
Shush now.
clipped.
Shush, co-host. Shush.
You don't know how anything
I'm
works.
shush. I'm 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 speaking Butarega.
Booga booga.
Let me tell you how it's going to go down. So this streamer called Himbo Bimbo, what's his name?
Ayo
George, what's his name?
Jimbo.
Jimbo. So Himbo and I,
Yeah.
we don't have any history because
Yeah.
he's like a streamer of and an artist of explicit skill and mastery and form and blah blah blah. And I'm a little gremlin. And what I found out is that Himbo likes to do streams where he has weekly submissions, and then he's like, "Wow, look at all my talented people, blah blah blah, whatever the hell," right? And this week's prompt for his server, that I'm not a part of, by the way, so he has no idea this is coming, was sword and shield, right? So my plan is to draw a guy with a big lance and to crash in and role play as the guy and be like, I am the fucking the knight, and I hate swords and shields, and I hate collaboration. So I'm here by myself. I'm gonna destroy the very next sword and shield I see, and then Borsch is gonna come in here with her sword and shield of friendship, and it's gonna be my this lance that let me zoom out. This lance that I drew is going to come crashing down through the earth and just completely decimate it. It'll be really funny, and maybe I'll get banned, but we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Maybe I'll get banned, or maybe I'll get so much recognition it'll make Marsh jealous, and the Himbo is like, "I love you, heck. Have my children and become my one and only." Um, Become my one and only art. What's the 2T? When you're not when who's what the
What?
student? Is it a student when you're the tutor? Do you have a 2T? A
I don't.
student?
What?
Well,
I
the
mean,
point
I
is
have no
that
idea.
that Jimbo is going to prefer me over you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
teach me all his wisdom
yeah. Of
and make
course.
you insanely jealous.
Uh huh.
That's mine.
That's
My
your goal.
secondary
Yeah,
goal.
yeah, right.
My
Of
number
course.
one goal is to piss everybody off,
Yep.
and my number two goal is to possibly piss you off.
No, too late.
Uh, but yeah, how are you gonna draw the lance in? You have any ideas?
What do you mean ideas? I'm just gonna finish it on this page being super long with a bunch of expressive lines. What's there to think about? You already gave me the information.
All right, here. Welcome back to Martian Tire SAS. Apparently, instead of F art, we have the Mart,
Wait, who?
M art, Mart,
Do
because it's
you
just your set.
Walmart?
Mart.
You have a return
Uh,
viewer?
do I have a return
Yeah,
viewer?
yeah. Who are you talking to?
My closest friend.
Yeah.
The voices in my head.
Uh-huh.
No, I guess it's a return viewer, because I don't see a first time chatting. So either they waited until I was asleep at night to start my stream, start chatting so that it doesn't pop up, and
Uh-huh.
then be like, "Hey yo."
No one is that neurotic. Yet.
Well, yeah. There you go.
When we get them, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's very nice of you to join, Shikobo. Do you wish to give me lots of money in the future? I'm very poor. uh, I mean, how's your Twitch been going? Have you been getting the moolah?
Oh, because of the anatomy thing, I haven't been on top of streams, but I'm getting back into it. Because,
Right.
you know, as much as okay, there's things you do for mental health, and then there's things you do
Suffering?
for being better. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
suffering. And so things that you do for yourself are things like if I have to have a wordless stream, there we go. If I have to stream for a long time just for accountability, sure. If I have to do this or this content for me, great. But the things you do for improving your work would be things like work on a piece that won't make you stuck for 5 hours with no progress. That's not content.
Right.
That's not something I should be doing on stream. Controlling what I do is an important kind of. This, I have to acknowledge that's wise to do, even though it's
Yeah.
not good for mental health. And so when I got stuck on anatomy on this commission, I just went and kind of studied and kind of chilled and uh, only streamed AO Jimbo's prompts because I timed myself for 3 to 5 hours or one session of streaming to finish it, and that's it.
of stretching.
And that was content. That was the ideal kind
Yeah.
of content.
Right. That's good. That's nice. That's very. That's a economic way of going about it. You know,
Schmeconomic.
economic. But I have to say that I disagree heavily, and
Yep.
you should
Uh-huh.
end your existence. And if I had a knife, I would stab you twice in the thorax.
Yeah, specifically the thorax, because I particularly
Yeah,
hate your
specifically the thorax.
thorax.
I did not just particularly hate your thorax. I particularly hate you. Trying to come up with something clever, but I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm getting so hungry. I
Well, you should eat.
Can I confess something to you?
You're hungry? You already did.
No, it's something worse.
Yeah.
You remember when I said I had a frosty earlier? Make frosty.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I ate all day.
Well, I've only had a fruit snack bar and a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, but for you it's the morning, right? That's more excusable. For me, it's
I
8 at
also
night.
slept like how many? Only like 2 to 3 hours, and didn't eat for
That's true.
another some odd hours before that.
Well, that is bad. Oh, did I tell you yesterday I made pasta and I had to I got sick from it.
Okay. That's unfortunate. I found out
I
that
tried
I
to make
was
allergic, dead.
I mean, I am
Gay?
allergic, but it was
Oh,
mostly along the lines of I can't eat tomatoes because acid reflux.
seriously?
Yeah.
What? But tomatoes are
I know.
so slightly acidic.
Well, look, it's enough apparently, because tomatoes have
Does
been giving me issues, and all acid reflux people have sensitivity. I'm surprised I can even drink coffee. To be completely honest with you, I don't know how
you
that's.
can't have lime?
I don't know what it is, but tomatoes specifically have been causing me an intense amount of digestional agony.
Diarrhea?
Yes.
Diarrhea?
Yes.
Is diarrhea the word you're looking for?
Well,
Diarrhea?
varying degrees.
Diarrhea?
It's hard to tell if it's just diarrhea.
It's hard to tell if it's poop or blood. It's just out.
It's causing something. Don't quite know what.
It's there. It's there. It's coming out of me. Who knows what it is?
We can weaponize it.
We can weaponize. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. My God. Yeah, I get that. I'm that way with chili, but obviously not to the extent where it's just when it's spicy, that's not as bad as like you can't eat certain things. My God, when are you gonna scrape together the money to go to the doctor?
I don't know.
Well,
Because
yeah,
because they sure didn't help with the allergy thing.
that's true. Well, I mean, now you have more context, and I mean, you remember when my friend got sick and how many times we had to go to the doctor, and it was a similar like weird, obscure, nobody really knows what's going on, and then we had to like trial and error our butts until we found one person who was actually gave the right stuff to help.
Yeah, that's fair.
It took like almost a year to get to that point, and I sunk so much money into like private healthcare and shit,
Yeah.
because like public healthcare was equally bad. So I mean, it might sound like a depressing thing, but it goes to show that there is hope. Even if you have to bang your head against like four different doctors who all don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking of
You
getting a dietitian of some sort to see if there was anything like that going on.
Yeah, that might be good. Dietitian, all that weird stuff. You figure out like with skin and with the digestive tract, there's so many weird tests that you can do that aren't completely in the medical know-how.
Uh-huh.
But if you message universities, you can get them to mail them over.
Uh-huh.
That's literally what I had to do at one point. I had to message a university in the U.S. for them to mail over like a SIBO test, is what it's called, which stands for small bacteria overgrowth. Uh, and it's like a highly specific, highly weird test that isn't completely like there yet.
Right.
And but they do it for you, and it gives you helpful information. So yeah, maybe there's like an equivalent for skin that you can find, you know.
Skin test.
But obviously you need the funds, and you heard it here first. Stream. If you don't follow us, Martian Tiger's gonna die. Marsh, cough.
Ha.
Yeah, you see how she's suffering? I have a mind to shoot her right now.
Put her out of the misery.
Put her out of her misery. That's how bad it is. But you know, I counting on the good in humanity. Please, if you have a heart, give to the poor, and by the poor I mean Martian Tire. And if Martian Tire isn't poor, well then I'd want to see the poor person you're talking about, because Marsh is a freaking hobo. Marsh, send a picture of your scene.
It would be kind of funny if the how people have streaming goals. My streaming goal is, well, here I'll put my picture of my homeless self on this page. Fund me, go fund me.
I'll finally go to the local soup kitchen to get a meal. But yeah, I don't know. How's Boffle been doing?
Oh, he didn't sleep a lot because of my weird neurotic not
Yeah,
sleeping, and so
in a good
he's
mood?
coping with lore and language of school children. Okay, it's another one of those knowledge YouTube channels with like science and dissection and it all. It just consumes that content.
Oh, he's like binging
Jingle
that stuff
bells,
right
Batman smells. Here's what I found out. Okay, great. I'm so glad this is what you're consuming right now.
now. It's funny because I think you fixed your mic to the point where I can't hear Waffle if he was talking.
Oh,
Because I can't hear him. Was he talking?
I mean, very faintly.
Tell him to respond to me so we can play video games together and become best friends.
Oh, sorry, you didn't get the Make Waffle Talk card in the deck of dilapidation. I'm afraid I can't. That's out of my power.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lurk in every single one of your streams. I'm going to get all the points in the world, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait until one day you slip up and you make one stupid point goal, and you say, "Oh, nobody's going to have that many points," and that's when I swoop in and I make your life hell, like the chibi one. All those points I had accumulated is still just from us streaming together, by the way.
That makes sense. We had a few hours under our belt.
Yeah, that's literally just like us streaming together, which is funny. I didn't. How many points was it? It was like 6,000.
Yeah, it was 666 points. Six.
Yeah,
Add another six on top of that.
that's fun. How many people had redeemed that so far?
The price has changed a few. They're all on my Twitter, so that's how I keep track of it. Let me see.
But yeah, one day you're gonna bring up the chibi prompt again. You're gonna be like, "Oh, 10,000 points for one chibi," and I'll be like, "Here I am with my chibi."
Yeah, that's point day. Where dicks?
Would you accept my money if I made you draw a chibi?
That would be called me opening up my commissions again.
Well, no, that would be me pouring money into your account and you feeling guilty. I can pull the BB strat too.
One of the few people that can't.
Oh, by the way, my roomie finished cooking.
Oh, okay. You want to call it good?
I mean, we could. I'm saying it because didn't you hear him cook?
Oh yeah, it was very loud and clangy, but who cares? We're beginner streamers. It's not like
No, we're the masters of the universe. I like how all the viewers came in when that was happening for me.
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, hey, let's go and see this person we never check out."
I have a lot of weird snapshots. This is a Pringles can one. Where the fuck? What the fuck? Where did it? What is this? Where? Why? Where did it go? I don't freaking know.
Girl, lady,
Who
what is happening?
Can't. I
Are
don't want
you
that.
are you all right, lady?
Oh, I see what happened. Yeah,
Me
here, look,
too.
here's a Pringles cans
You were
one.
dropped on your head. If I redeem it multiple times, do you have to draw multiple doodles on the same one?
It'll be a kind of separate one, but because it has like some amount of cooldown to it.
Okay,
Oh fuck!
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
there's one. There's a weird face thing. People ask for strange stuff.
Yeah, and you honor all of them except for mine. Disgusting.
Oh, well, so one of them is TOS.
No, it could have been slime. Could have just been a disembodied tongue. Didn't have to. Didn't have to. You could have worked around it. Sure, you might have to fight TOS, but
Like I was this
you know,
fucking comically large spoon.
that one's pretty good. You know what? I like that, so I'm gonna copy that for my thing once if I ever get affiliate.
Sabotage.
I'm gonna. I don't know. Mars Shines is such a nice name. I don't know what pun on pine cones I can make, because I think pine cones by itself is
Pine nuts.
boring. No, that's a real life thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
like a
think of like
mogus shark.
I was thinking Among Us. God damn it! I was thinking of something like pine ethos, because I know that which is it works on two levels because
Uh-huh.
pine ethos is like some Japanese word that they also use for their star candies, you
Oh,
know.
yeah, those are fun.
And pine ito is like Dorito. It's like
Mm.
smaller version, you know. But
SpongeBob.
what I don't like about that is that he's SpongeBob. What I don't like about it is that it just sounds like it's Spanish, like I intended it to be Spanish, because it's pinito, which is not what I wanted to be. Uh, so yeah. Anyways, we can wrap it
Um.
up. I'm hungry. I bet you're
Okay.
hungry too.
Yeah. I like food.
Yeah, do you now?
Yeah.
Because you're fat.
Yeah.
Well, go feed the monster.
Okay. All right. We're gonna close up shop. Thank you for anyone that came and
Thank you for
anyone
nothing.
insane enough to thank you for nothing.
Thank you for absolutely nothing.
All
Get
right.
out of here.